Mine is already going, so.
Let me water.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah. All right, Shalom. We Hebrew Israelites. I here once again. First off, we want to start by giving all praises and glory unto
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash.
Double honors to our apostles, the elder bishops, the great millstone. Salutations to you brothers for preaching his word in sincerity and faith. And Shalom to you faithful followers and believers thereof. We're just going to jump straight to the scriptures.
Yep. This is Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven.
And what day is that talking about, man? The great day of the Lord, man. Which is going to entail the destruction of Babylon the Great, known as a miracle. Okay?
Yep. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble.
That's right, man. More fuel for the fire, in which you have pretty much next week, man, June, the month of Pride, which that's every day here in Babylon the Great, man. All right, you know that spirit of pride is heavy upon here. If anything, it's further intensifying, man. And if you read, I believe what Proverbs the 6th chapter, that's one of the things that the Most High hates is pride, a proud look. All right, which that's Babylon as a whole, man. Go ahead, bro.
It says, and the day cometh that shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts.
Yep, and how they're going to get burned up from this coming third world war. All right, the third world via the thermonuclear missiles, man. All right. Matter of fact, you grab what's that? Is it 9 and 5? And if you're paying attention to the news, you can see that's not far-fetched at all, man. That's a main part of a conversation outside of the Diddy and all this, BS, man. What's going on between these different countries and Babylon the Great, man? All right, and how all these countries are gearing up for this coming third world war, man. Go ahead.
Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise.
And this was talking about how the ancient battles were fought, hand-to-hand combat, swords, knives, shields. All right, go ahead.
And garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Yeah, that's right. This coming war is going to be with burning and fuel of fire, man. As it says in Daniel the 12th chapter, the Lord said, what? Knowledge shall be increased. The Lord gave the knowledge to Esau to be able to create missiles. What is that? Isaiah 54. Yep. Pretty much create the Lord's weapons of mass destruction, man. Yep. Showing you that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is totally in control of this whole thing, man.
Real quick, this is Isaiah 54 and verse 16. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
Yeah, that's right. In the ancient smiths, they would pretty much make weaponry, man. All right. But this time, what's going to be the modern day weaponry is the missiles, man. All right. Which you had that movie come out years back, the Oppenheimer movie, which is based on a true event, and how that this precept come into pass, man. Now they have it further perfected to where it can do more damage. It can travel at a hypersonic. It can travel at a quicker speed.
Yes, it says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy.
Yeah, that's right. So the Lord ultimately created this devil to create his army. Well, a form of his army, shall I say. All right, the missiles. See, because Esau thinks that he's going to be able to use the missiles to forward his agenda, but really you're using the missiles to forward the Lord's agenda, man, which is all via prophecy.
This is back in Malachi 4 and 1. I'll just read it over again. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
Yeah, that's right. This place is going to be completely destroyed. America as a whole. All right? As it says in the book of Isaiah, this place is going to pretty much be like a line of confusion. You're not going to be able to know which state started where and which what. It's going to be a big desolate wilderness. And inhabited by desert dwelling creatures. This place is going to be made pretty much a monument of what happens when you create a society that's going against the law, statute, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai, and what happens when you take the Lord's people and put them in captivity. The Lord is going to make a statement by destroying this place right along with your people in it.
I had to put this in the back of just as he left the ancient Sodom and Gomorrah's memorial. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, verse 6. When the ungodly perished, he delivered the righteous men who fled from the fire which fell down upon the 5 cities, of whose wickedness even to this day the wasteland that smoketh is a testimony.
Yeah, that righteous man is talking about Lot. All right, go ahead.
And plants bearing fruit that never come to ripeness, and a standing pillar of salt is a monument of an unbelieving soul. For regarding not wisdom, they got not only this hurt, that they knew not the things which were good.
And that land is uninhabitable. There's no resources, there's nothing there, man. To this very day. All right.
But also left behind them to the world a memorial of their foolishness, so that in the things wherein they offered, they could not so much as be hid. But wisdom delivered from pain those that attain upon her.
Yeah, that's right. And which goes into the balance as well, man. Because Lot was symbolic for the elect. So just as the destruction is going to be brought here upon these wicked people, the inhabitants, 2/3, a lot of our people is going to take that MOTB. That's going to seal your destruction as well. On the flip side, the Lord is going to deliver his elect from that from this coming thermonuclear destruction. This as he did Lot. You bring it up?
Yep, this is 2 Peter 2 and verse 6. It says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making...
What was they doing in those lands, man? All sorts of abominable freakism, man. Pretty much what you see here in America. All right? Man sleeping with men, women sleeping with women.
Yep.
Orgies. Necrophilia, you name it. All right? All sorts of abominable acts.
Yeah, it says, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example to those that after should live ungodly.
Yeah, that's right. So the Lord said that destruction as an example. What happens when you see a society? But what do you have here today? Babylon the Great, man. Which this is Sodom and Gomorrah on steroids, man. This is by far the worst kingdom to ever be in existence. So if the Lord made that example, what you think the Lord is going to
about to roll into that shit tomorrow?
Jude verse 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh.
Going after strange flesh.
Boy, that's your man. He
Like I
gonna be
said,
walking
man
around.
after man, woman
That big
after
fat
woman,
faggot. He
bestiality.
gonna be walking around.
All right. And incest.
He gonna be walking around till tomorrow. Celebrate
These are the things that they were into. And these
flaming
are the things that
New
these
Year.
people are into, man. Taking on that same spirit.
It says, and going after strange flesh are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire.
And that's what's coming here to America. All right, Babylon the Great. This place, the Lord is going to make the biggest example out of this place, man. All right? Go back to that.
This is back in 2 Peter 2 and 7. And deliver just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead. It's going to break it down. Because Lot had to be amongst them freaks, man. All right? Had to pretty much suffer them. You know? The things that they are into, the flamboyancy, the stuff that we see today. Go ahead.
For that righteous man dwelling among them, in seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day.
You gotta hear the filthy conversations that they have, man. You know? Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished.
And that's exactly what the Lord is doing with all these evildoers. You see the nations, 2/3 of our old people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. The Lord is just preserving you for that great day. All right, if you can make it that far, man, you know, because things are going to get out of hand before the destruction comes, man. You're gonna have chaos, cannibalism. All right, you're gonna have riots going on, diseases, the water.
People going crazy out of their mind, you know, friends fighting against each other, you know.
It says, verse 10, but chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanliness and despise government. Presumptuous are they, self-willed, they are not afraid to speak evil of dignities.
Yeah, that's right. But you have a lot of these guys in these different camps coming with these wayward doctrines. All right, leading our people astray. Pretty much trying to do their own thing, man. But you're just furthering your destruction. Pretty much, man. You furthering pretty much what the Lord is going to bring upon our people. You further it upon yourself because you having a hand in pushing forth
more confusion, right? Because you got this now, you know, the second death or the lake of fire is not going to be America. It's talking about something else, which clearly is going on. It's another false doctrine leading to confusion. This is one of the main warnings that we're warning our people, the destruction that's about to happen here in America. It says, whereas angels which are greater in power and might bring not railing accusation against them before the Lord, but these as natural beasts made to be taken and destroyed speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption.
Yeah, that's right. Because they're not a part of the elect. You know, what is that? That's the 9th chapter, man. Let the multitude perish. All right, they're just a part, and ultimately they're a part of the spirits of the Lord. Sends them up to spew up his badness just to condemn them and whoever follows after him.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound in alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
Yeah, that's right. We're blowing the alarm. We're giving out that warning. We're letting our people know, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, what the Lord is about to bring to pass, man. What is that? Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter. We're warning our people of what's to come, which ultimately the destruction is going to come, man. And telling our people to repent before this day, man. Seek the Lord while he may be found before the equal day comes. All right? Because it's right around the corner. Go ahead.
A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness.
Yeah, it's a day like never before. All right? The time of Jacob's trouble, which is synonymous with the hour of temptation, which is going to prelude that third woe, man. Go ahead.
As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations.
Well, this is not talking about actual people. These are talking about, it's referred to as the missiles, man. The scriptures are referring to the missiles as people. All right? In the form of an army. Go ahead.
A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burning.
Yep. They got the thing. You get a better depiction of what the scriptures are breaking down, man. When the missiles are being propelled into the air. All right? Yep. Go ahead, bro.
A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burning.
See? Which projects the missiles to where it needs to go.
Yeah, where it said the fire devoured before them, that's the warhead.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then what does it say at the because the warhead, that's where the power is at.
Right.
That's where it's gonna hurt the people. That's where all the magic happens. The fusion is in the warhead. The fire that goes behind it, that's the propulsion mechanism to get that missile, that warhead from one part of the earth to the other part of the earth. That's why it's called intercontinental.
Yep.
Okay.
A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness.
Yeah, that's right. So it's life as you see it today, right before the missiles take place, man. Right before the missiles hit, everybody doing whatever the hell they want to be doing. And these people, Esau's going to have, a certain form of society still going on. You're just going to have a seat at the beginning. But after the missiles touch down, you're going to see nothing but
It says, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses.
Yeah, that's right. You can't escape. You can't escape a nuclear missile, man. Where are you going to go? All right. You can't. There is no way. There is nowhere you can go. They at least are going to escape it. Prophecy. Yeah, if you still here, man. If you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, or just a two-time Edomite, or just a regular heathen nation, man, you're going to be destroyed.
Yeah, because you can't the horse representing the speed.
Yep.
You can't run from and the power. You can't run from a horse, or you don't have the ability to beat a horse in a race. They're gonna. Well, that's why they call it horsepower. The more horsepower you have in your car, the faster your car goes. So the missiles are going to be as horses. They're going to be running in the sky.
Yeah.
Okay, going from one part of the earth to the other. This is what the prophet Joel, he's basically giving to you in his terminology and in his time. They're going to be as horses, which represents speed and power. Okay?
Oh, well, them hypersonic missiles are faster than the conventional ICBMs. You definitely ain't outrunning a hypersonic missile. And then there ain't nowhere to hide from the explosion. Where you gonna go? You gonna try to hide in the subway? That ain't gonna work. You gonna try to put yourself in a manhole? That ain't gonna work either. You can hide in your house too. Hide in your closet or duck and cover, like Obama said years ago. A nuclear explosion, you get under a table and hold it, and that's gonna protect you. That ain't gonna work either. You're gonna get burned up. The only way for you to be saved is if Yahweh Shemi Hawashai delivers you.
A couple of homeless people got involved.
says,
Little girl and a
The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses.
she hit her
And
head.
as horsemen, so shall they run.
Got involved to break
Like
it
the
up.
noise of chariots on the tops of mountains, shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of a fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array.
Yep. So it's all. They're pretty much the missiles are going to be in formation, man. Like you would see, pretty much like birds flying. They're in formation. None running into each other. They're all going in the same direction, in their same, in their respective order.
Before their face the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. The sun, they shall run like mighty
If I
men.
say Isaiah saw this same vision
Yep,
too
yep, yep.
in Isaiah the 13th chapter. Okay, so all the prophets saw the same thing. They saw the day of the Lord. They saw Jacob's trouble, but then they also saw the missiles fly as well. And the reaction of the people right before the missiles hit, and how much chaos and how much astonishment that they're going to have on their person, as well as the prophet saw them, their eyes dissolve within their sockets, and their tongue dissolve within their mouth, and their skin dissolve and they're standing. The prophet saw everybody get dissolved, man. That's here left in here in America. You got it?
They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march everyone on his ways. And they shall not break their ranks.
Yeah, they're not going to run into each other, man.
That's right.
Neither is America's missile defense system going to intervene.
Right.
Because you have a ranking system within the military, and you see them old movies, right? Where they'll have like all the military will rush in, and the ranks will get broken as they start fighting. As individuals start dying, then you're able to get flanked because your side got messed up because of the enemy. Well, when these missiles fly, nothing is going to stop the missiles from getting to their target. They're all going to hit their target perfectly. They're not going to run into each other. Neither are they going to be intercepted by any type of missile defense system.
Right.
Okay. So it's going to be a perfect. It's going to be a 100% target. Okay.
Yeah, because you got Trump talking about this Golden Dome.
Yeah, the Golden Dome.
Trying to be a missile deterrent. That's all in vain.
Which America don't even got the money or the technology to build something like that.
Yeah.
They was been supposed to have a missile defense shield, but the one that they have now is inadequate.
Yep.
And it ain't stopping no hypersonic missiles. America don't got hypersonic technology. So it ain't gonna work. All right? And even if, let's say he does build the Golden Dawn, the avant-garde and the hypersonic missiles that China has, they can outmaneuver those missiles that you send up to try to intercept them. If you watch a video, a demonstration of how they move up in the upper atmosphere, they actually weave. So they're going to detect the missile coming, they just going to move out the way. Well, the scriptures tell you, in 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter, the arrows that he shoots are sharp and they shall not miss. So ain't nothing going to stop this from happening, man. All right? It also tells you that strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. So if you got a person that's real strong, you can actually split an arrow that's coming at you if you got the aim. But if your arrow is going faster than the arrow that's coming at it, it's going to break it. And that's exactly what's going to happen to those missiles that Esau going to try to shoot up to stop Yahweh Shai from bringing his judgment upon Babylon.
Yeah, it said they shall not be wounded.
Yeah.
You know, if it hit, even if it's going to hit, but they're not going to get wounded. The spirit of the Lord is going to be in them.
That's right.
Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
Yep. It's talking about that the elders going into talking about that missile defense system, man. It's not gonna deter anything, man.
It says they shall run to and fro in the city, they shall run upon the wall.
Basically, they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do. And nobody's going to stop us.
Right.
They're going to tear this shit up.
They're going to tear it up. They're going to run unabated. There's going to be nothing in their way to stop the missiles from going and hitting their target perfectly. Because when you put the coordinates in the computer doesn't know how to say no. All it knows, okay, I need to get to this destination. And that's what they're going to do. The Most High is going to be with it. He's going to be with the AI. All right, which is nothing but a demon. He's going to be with the demon to go, hit Babylon. Yeah, just like that. Because remember, mind you, the Lord marked every spot here in America where he want a missile to hit. It's all been marked perfectly. Yeah, I want to boom, 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 boom. 200 million warheads exploding. So the Lord, he already set it up to where they're all going to hit their mark, like a mighty expert bowman.
Yep.
Okay, he don't miss. You know, he got bullseye every single time. Boom, 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 bullseye. That's how the missile's gonna fly out. The Lord gonna actually be with the missiles. This is the Lord's weapons of his indignation. The Lord gonna take over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they reading was it Joel the 2nd chapter? That's the army of the Heavenly Father.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Esau made those thinking that, oh, this is my creation. You know, I'm gonna use this to destroy people and exert my supremacy over the earth.
Yeah.
But the Heavenly Father created those. Or he put it in Esau's mind to create. They belong to Yahweh Shai. And Most High is gonna let you know that when this whole ordeal goes down. Okay, it's like the apostle mentioned, the Heavenly Father's Spirit is gonna commandeer those missiles, man. And you already see that happening when the chariots fly over these different missile silo sites, man. The countdown starts. Esau, he be trying to shut it off. You know, the 2 keys ain't even been inserted. It should just go off on its own. And it gets right down to 1 and then it just stops and then the chariot leaves. So that's the Heavenly Father showing you that these missiles belong to me, man. They don't belong to you, you damn devils. And he gonna use it to fulfill his will down here on the earth, which is the complete and utter destruction of America.
Right.
That's right.
It says they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the window like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great quake from the impact of those missiles, man.
Yeah, and it says that, read that part again, the quake.
It says the earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble.
Yeah, because scriptures say people hearts failing them for fear for looking at those things coming upon the earth, and then when the missiles hit, the motion that the missile is going to hit in is going to cause a devastating earthquake, where it says that even the birds in the heavens are going to shake. You know,
Yeah, the powers of heaven shall be shaken in that same chapter.
Yep.
You know, Luke 21. You know, but for fear, they should look into the heavens for fearful constellation. You know, when you look into the sky for the constellations, you're mapping out what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
And those missiles, that's the end of your future, man.
Yeah.
There is no all right, do-overs. There is no, hold on, missile.
Right.
Stop, let me get prepared.
Time out.
No time out. No tapping out. You got them in the guillotine, you can tap out and the referee come and break you up. Ain't gonna be none of that. It is gonna be complete destruction.
Yep.
Fear that you can feel in your body. And the Lord gonna be there too. Just to add to that.
Tripas.
Okay? Yep, that's tripas. Tripas, that pressing. Okay, every man's hand on their loins. Okay, like they travail, like a woman in travail. That's the debilitating pain that the people are going to have on their face. All right, when those missiles are shot off, because it's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because their leader said no, peace and safety.
Yep.
Nothing's going to happen like that. Cooler heads prevail. The Edomite, the white man ingenuity is going to get us through this.
Pangs.
That
word pangs.
You got it.
It's Isaiah 24:19. It says, the earth is utterly broken down, the earth is clean dissolved, the earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it.
So
and
that, no, go ahead, finish.
and it shall fall and not rise again.
Yeah, so that motion is going to cause a wave of events.
Yeah.
It's going to cause the waters to start coming in like a tsunami. Going to cause the air, everything just to be moved, and that's why the birds are going to be like, even the birds are going to be catching hell, when that whole shit comes. So, it's got to be a hell of an earthquake to make the birds in the heavens shake. It tells you that in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. Because the Spirit of the Lord is going to be in those missiles.
Oh, get out of here.
Yo, hey,
Get out of here,
excuse me,
man.
get out of here.
Take a
Get
walk.
out of here.
Take a walk.
Go, get out of here.
Take a walk, man.
Get out of here, you agent. Get out of here.
You're done.
Goodbye.
Get off them drugs.
Hey, get off that crack. Get off that fenny. Get off that crack. Get off the fenny. Get off the fenny. They're gonna be, everything's gonna be shaking. See how Satan, just come and try to disrupt. But you know what this proves? This proves that what we're teaching is the truth. Because, if we some bugged out dudes, why every demon in hell just keep fucking with, the so-called Christians, I mean, if I look at somebody and I think they bugged out, I'm not going to fuck with them. I'm going to leave them alone. Leave them to their own vices. But y'all got it. This fucking, that's the same rat from last week.
Yeah. You want to shake pesos.
Yeah, he talking about some Allah and all that shit. Look, motherfucker, take that shit down there. We don't want to hear your shit. All these people you could talk to, why you don't go talk to them? They might want to hear your message.
You need to talk to them, the Fetty addicts.
The what are they, Fetty backs?
Yeah, Fetty backs. Maybe Allah can heal.
Yeah.
Hey, put that back straight.
Yeah, maybe he can heal your man down there with the fucked up hip.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria.
Right, because Asia also, that's over there in China.
Yep.
And it's not, when you say Asia, the Asians, the Chinese, the people with this. No, motherfucker, Asia just means east.
Yep.
You had Russians, that's considered part of Asia. Anything on that side of the world in the east, another word for it is Orient. The word Orient means east. Oriental. People think Oriental, they think of the chinky eye people. Oriental don't mean people with chinky eyes. It means people from the east. All of the sons of Ham, all the people that came, those are Orientals. They came from the Orient. You got it.
Yeah, what they call Israel, Syria, all that area, Lebanon, that's West Asia.
Yeah.
That's the continent of Asia.
Yeah.
Turkey, all that. That's all Asia. This means east,
Yep.
So woe meaning destruction unto you.
Yeah, because you also are partaking with America. And all these nations, they've been, in cahoots with Babylon the Great. So they're going to pay too. Because your empires are going to be taken down. It ain't just America. America just happens to be, it's like you have a building and you have a part of the building that's the main hub of the building. But once that part goes down, the whole building goes down. So once America goes down, all these nations are going down right along with it. You got it?
It says, woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria.
Oh, because what? Because Babylon is what propped up all these other nations.
Yep.
All these nations be living in the Stone Age. It wasn't for Babylon and the technology that came from the West. Okay, which a lot of Jake started that, but Esau, you know, of course.
Esau,
you know, Esau, he was over Jake, so he inherited all that.
Yep.
All the technology. You know, because you have a slave. If the slave does something, that's really it comes from you.
That's your property.
That's your property. So really, if this is Esau's technology. This is Esau's property. You know? Go ahead.
Gird up yourselves with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand.
That's right.
So that represents being in a state of mourning, you know, which pretty much that's the state of America. You know, this is the spirit that you should be in if you knew what was coming to this place, man.
Oh yeah, the city of mirth.
Yep.
You know, it speaks about the city of mirth. But somebody who was in that chapter? Would you read that Isaiah 24? Can you get that real quick? Isaiah 24 and 10. And I'll be right back to you, brother.
It's Isaiah 24
And 10.
verse 10. It says, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in.
Yeah, and that's why the Lord's gonna shut this whole shit down. He's gonna shut this sideshow down. This is a sideshow. This is the place where everybody was entertained. Now the final curtain close is about to happen. Final curtain call. Go ahead.
There's a crying for wine in the street.
That's dealing with the knowledge. But, hey, because you have people out there searching for the truth. You have people out there, so-called truthers, and some people think they're really locked in. Oh, we know about the economy, we know about the cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin and the international bankers, but you don't know the whole picture. You know pieces and bits. Pieces and bits don't make the whole. You don't have the whole. So in order for you to be spiritually healthy, you got to have the whole.
That's it.
Go ahead.
A well-balanced diet.
That's it.
You gotta be well-balanced in prophecy and history.
Yeah.
Really, it's in the understanding of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like what those individuals are lacking is knowledge of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
That's it.
Which that's the what you call it, like the mystery factor,
Yeah.
for lack of better words.
The key to put it all together.
Yeah, because these people don't understand what's going on. They'll, try to say, well, if we expose the elites and we can stop this from taking place, we can stop the New World Order from happening, but you can't stop it.
Right.
Because really it's the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. The Most High wants Esau to implement his New World Order to a certain extent so he can destroy it.
Yeah.
The Most High wants World War III.
Yeah.
That's why you keep seeing it pop up over and over again, man. Things calm down a little bit, but then it pop up again out of nowhere. Who's causing that to happen? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
That's it. It's the Lord's New World Order.
Yeah.
Just like it's the Most High's micro C hip, MOTB.
Yeah.
He just gave it. You just happen to be the person in charge to implement it.
That's it.
That don't make it yours.
It says, there's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone.
Yeah. Read that again. That's the point.
Yep. It says, all joy is darkened.
Hey, we're here in San Francisco,
Yeah.
right? I mean, all them different major stores
Yep.
in the mall gone.
Yep.
This place ain't what it used to be. Back when I was here in 2017, there was a lot more bustling shit. There was a lot more people out here,
Yep.
a lot more scoffers, so, talking shit, brothers ending up on World Star Hip Hop week after week. There was always some shit going on here, but now it's dead.
Yep.
Just like New York after 2001, New York just died out. All these cities died out. You know why? Because the Lord is bringing this place down. The mirth of this place is being shut down. You got it.
It says, all joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone.
The mirth of the land is gone. See, it ain't like before. You had that hope. That bubbly, passionate and loving feeling of oh man, if I could just get the American dream, but that shit is gone. The American dream is dead.
It's over.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Well, you got a lot of people that going on TikTok and social media basically complaining about the American dream and how it's a scam. How going to college is a scam.
Yep.
They're caught up with all this debt and don't have a job. They apply for 1,000 jobs with 3 interviews and no callbacks. You know how the housing market is crazy. Even renting is just out of this world. Okay, food, the inflation. And then you got women complaining that going to the club, it ain't the same no more. And the party scene is done. You know, the party scene is done and men not coming up to you no more. Okay?
No, well, you know what it is too. No more in the free drinks.
Yeah, no more.
Ladies get in free.
No more shopping spree. No more late night.
That's it.
No more VIP. No more dough.
That's
You
it.
can't even kick it no more.
Well, what does it say? They shall lament for the teats.
Yeah.
You know, in the pleasant fields.
That's it.
You know, the Most High. Because look, a man. Hey, the spirit of the Lord is gonna be on a man to withstand that shit, man. A man don't need a lot of shit.
Well, a man's built for that.
Yeah.
A man's built to, go without pleasures. Well, the only reason why men are really into that is because that's what the women like. So you will get all of that, more so back in the day, you would get all that to get the woman. But the way these women been moving, the past 50 years, dudes like, fuck that shit, man. What I need this bitch for, but she just gonna basically, drive me crazy.
Yeah.
I'd rather be at peace and live within my means. I live a so-called menial lifestyle. Basically the only thing I need.
Yeah, and go to Thailand.
Yeah.
Or go to Colombia.
Right.
And take my little $40,000 a year and go be a passport bro and get worship. I don't need these hoes.
Yeah.
So it's like a different spirit here in Babylon the Great, man.
Yep.
The Most High is stripping this place dry
That's it.
before he destroys it utterly.
Woo.
You know?
Hey, yeah, that's like the calm before the storm.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, like this place is booming, but then the Lord just strips everything. Everybody's like in a somber mood, and all of a sudden you think it's gonna get better, but boom, then the Lord lowers the boom on your ass. And that's when the missiles start to fly.
That's right.
You got it.
Let's read this last verse. It says, "In the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction."
Yeah, because not even the gates is a representation of leadership. So there's not going to be anything that in Jeremiah 50 or 51 it speaks about, that the report has come to the king of Babylon, and he's all, he was all nervous and dismayed. So there's not going to be anything that these senators, no bill they can pass, nothing that they can suggest to help this place continue on. It's going to be done.
We would have healed Babylon, but Babylon is not healed.
Yeah.
There is no healing ointment for this place.
That's
This
it.
place is on the highway to hell.
That's right.
And nobody stop. You can't stop it. This is all prophecy, by the way. And see, this is why you false teachers, you anti-Christians, you scoffers and scorners, you can come against the doctrine all you want, but you're gonna fail, man.
That's right.
Okay, it's that brazen wall. All right, you gonna fight against it. Yeah. You're gonna lose. You're trying to hit bricks. Thinking you Jet Li.
Yeah.
Or you Bruce Lee, and they in the karate they hit the bricks and shit. That's fake bricks.
Yeah.
That's not real bricks.
You're gonna hit it for a little bit until you get to that white meat.
That's it. That's it. And at that point you fucking yourself up.
Yep.
Because you're trying to stop something that you're trying to stop a moving train that you cannot stop.
Right.
That's it.
Okay, you do not have power enough to stop the prophecies of Yahweh Shema Shai.
Your
Okay, no
resistance
man.
is futile.
That's it.
Right, that's right.
You got it.
Back to 2nd Ezra 16:2. Gird up yourselves with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. And you're gonna like when people find out this is not a test, Russia and China and so on have just launched their nuclear missiles, people are gonna be like that, like fearful. You know what they call something petrified. Meaning you can't move. Petrified, petra is a stone. So you're petrified, like you can't even move, because by the time you're able to move, it's gonna be too late. Because even if you were able to move, half hour, 20 minutes ain't much time for you to do shit. You can't even get out the house in 20 minutes. Oh shit, I forgot my tea, I forgot my coffee. Yeah. No, you got it.
I was just gonna say, the brother made a point with traffic. They always show you that in the movies.
Yeah.
Anytime some outbreak happens or some destruction is taking place, everybody get on the highway at the same time, going the same way. So you stuck. You can't run nowhere. Well, they showed you that also in that movie, The Day After. Everybody was on the highway, and then eventually your car gonna stop working because the EMP gonna come. Your whole car gonna shut down. it's just gonna cut off. You're gonna be stuck on the road. Then you're gonna run. Like that dude did on that movie, man. You gonna die.
Yeah.
Then you can have Waymo running you over.
Yep.
Damn. Forgot about that shit.
Hey, remember the movie? What was that? Leave the World Behind.
Yeah,
All them Teslas started slamming against each other. You know, through.
Yep.
Hey, the first thing that look, everybody's gonna have the same thought.
Yep.
Escape. This escape route is all the same. Okay, I'll go down so and so street, this street,
Yeah.
go up the ramp, get on the highway.
Yeah.
The highway gonna be backed up. Everybody has the same thought, but you think, you thinking that you the mastermind. You know that you just came up with a brilliant plan, and all of a sudden you get on the highway and you stuck. You can't go back, you can't go forward. You got 500 cars behind you and 1,000 in front.
Well, them missiles gonna come so quick. By the time you hear it, that thing gonna be there in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So by the time you put your jeans on and you get your mama oxygen tank,
It's over.
God
you know,
damn.
try to get her out of the wheelchair and shit. You can't even say the animals.
Yeah.
Nah.
And then where you gonna go?
Oh, yes, all of America.
Yeah.
You know, then it's gonna come to reality when they hear that noise. Cause you're gonna be able to hear those missiles before they get there.
Somebody get that noise and pestilence. Psalms 91. Go ahead.
You're gonna be able to hear those missiles before they get there, man.
Yep.
And that's gonna be a terrifying sound because they're gonna come from all sides. They're gonna come from the west, they're gonna come from the east, they're gonna come from the north, and they're gonna come from the south.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because they're gonna be coming from multiple nations. Okay, Asia is gonna be shooting off their missiles, Pakistan, India, right? North Korea, China, Russia, Iran, Syria, different parts of Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, and also what? The EU.
Oh, yep. They
The
Yeah, don't
EU gonna
forget-
shoot them missiles, man.
Don't forget the EU.
You know, you can't forget about the beast. The beast shall hate the whore and burn her with fire. All right, so even your own.
Would you say that's a lake of fire or just a fire?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know, these dudes teaching these wayward doctrines, man. Well, they gonna be in the lake of fire.
Yeah, they gonna get burned up. Well, that's why they teach that it ain't the lake of fire. 'Cause they gonna be in it.
Yeah.
They don't want to be in it. You gonna be in it, man. You gonna get burned up. And like it says in Revelation the 14th chapter, the angels in your house are gonna be watching your ass burn up.
That's it.
And in Psalms 91:1, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Yep. Which the shadow represents protection. Right. So if you want to be protected by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you got to dwell in the secret place. And the secret place, you don't find it after you run a damn obstacle course, man. Okay, the secret place is talking about the proper understanding of the scriptures. All right? Which the majority of these people do not have. That's why it's secret. For you to get in this place, you got to be initiated.
It says, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress.
Hey, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai willing, we part of that number, and Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai keeps the spirit on us. We're going to say that same thing in that day, man. All right? Well, even now, when we go through trouble, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is our refuge. We don't run anywhere else, man. Keep going.
It says, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him will I trust.
That's right. We trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. These people don't. So they ain't in a secret place. So they ain't going to be saved, man. Keep going.
Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler.
How was the snare of the fowlers? Talk about Esau, Edom, them troops, man, them mercenaries that's going to be out here. But that's before the missiles hit. So you niggas going to be running from mercenary groups, man. Just like they show you in that movie, The First Purge. Those are mercenaries. They wasn't affiliated with law enforcement. That was somebody that those politicians hired out to go kill you niggas, man.
Private armies.
Yep. And they gonna be out here roaming the streets, looking for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, like you read 2 Ezra 16 chapter, it says they shall be like madmen, sparing none. They gonna go buck wild on you, man.
And where did they go? They went
Straight
to the
to the
ghettos,
hood, straight
to
to
the
the
hood,
hood. Yep.
the barrios. Hey, the first purge.
Yep.
They was in the hood.
They was going after so-called blacks and Hispanics.
Yeah, where the problem is.
Yep.
Where they deem the problem is. While we're in the situation, it's because of you.
That's right.
You know, and you have no idea. You're oblivious. You're not prepared. Neither do you have a hedge around you. Because say certain brothers are in that particular situation, the Most High is going to make a way, all right, for those brothers and their family to be able to escape that.
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
And you just gotta trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because you can find yourself in a situation, you might get arrested, you know, taken to a black site, but that don't mean it's over for you.
Right.
The Most High can always deliver you. We got many examples of that in the scriptures.
I got
An
a
individual that don't trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, if they get in a situation like that, they're going to bug the hell out. I'm done. Where I'm going to run to? You know, I can't get away. They're going to try to escape. The fucking the guard going to beat your ass, throw you back in the cell. You know, you going to lose hope, man.
Yeah.
I got a quick one for you.
Gun.
There's a Psalms 124:7. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken, and we are escaped.
That's right. The snare is going to be broken. So these traps that Esau Edom is going to try to set for individuals that trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, it's going to be broken. They ain't going to work.
Somebody get Revelation 2:10.
They're going to get away, man. All right. Just like, you know, the apostles, they got released out of prison.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. The angel came, he made the guards fall asleep, and the gate just opened up. And they walked scot-free. You know, and then the guards got rebuked afterwards for sleeping on the job.
They
man.
got taken out. They
Yep.
got killed.
Yeah.
That's why when the apostle, that earthquake and it broke the prison, the apostle Paul and Barnabas, I don't know if it was apostle Paul and Barnabas or somebody else with him in the prison. The guard pulled his dagger. He about to kill himself. He said, "Don't hurt yourself. You know, we still here."
Good.
You know, because they knew that. Look, once the prisoners escape, it don't matter how they escape. It don't matter if you help them or not. You dying.
Yeah, and that, I believe that guard, he believed.
Yeah. And then he came. Yep.
Yep. So he witnessed that.
So he was a Jake.
Yeah, he was a Jake. That showed you he was a Jake, and he was part of the elect. His family was saved.
Yeah.
They gonna come back in this time.
That's right.
So just think, you're gonna have individuals like that. That a situation might happen. They might be of the elect,
Right.
and they see something like that and believe on that at that very moment and be delivered.
Yep.
The great cloud of witnesses.
Right.
Okay. So you're gonna have a lot of individuals at the very end, in the midst of Jacob's trouble, that's gonna be sealed. Okay, and converted in that time. All right, because what in that day, thy people shall be willing, and thy power, thy people shall be willing. Okay.
Yeah, because the Lord gonna show that you what you got.
Revelation 2:10.
Let's go.
Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
Yeah, you're going to suffer.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
And some of us going to get locked up. You already see it coming down the pipeline, man. They trying to ban the Bible. Okay, they trying to arrest
Somebody
you for
gets
saying
second
certain
Ezra
words.
16.
All right. So some of us going to end up in those prisons. Some of us going to end up in concentration camps, man.
Yeah.
Some of us going to be rounded up. Okay, you read it from the top again,
You know what I'm talking about, right, bro?
Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
How shall I say, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer? Okay, keep going.
Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
Some of us going to get thrown into those camps. All right, but don't have the spirit of fear on you. Trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, we still in the secret place, man. Esau can't get there. Okay, nor can Esau remove you from the secret place. All right, that's between you and Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Esau don't know what's going on in your mind. He want to play on your flesh to try to get the flesh to overtake you, man. You start thinking about, being uncertain about what's going on. Oh, the Most High can't deliver me out of this situation. I'm in prison. I've been here for 20 days. What's going on, man? I'ma just give up. All right, Esau, what do you want, man? Now fuck that, man.
He want to put the chip in you. That's what he want. So that's how he can know for sure that he got you.
Yep.
On to the next.
The scriptures say strive for the truth unto death, man.
Right.
All right, so you got to maintain your integrity in your Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, regardless of what situation you in.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
Yep, it says, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried.
And it's not to destroy you, it's for you to be tested.
Yeah.
Okay, just like when the Heavenly Father led us through the wilderness, that was a test.
Right.
Okay, this hour of temptation that's coming down here on the earth is a test.
An hour of a time of proving. To see the hour of testing, to see if you are gold or if you are silver, wood, hay, or stubble.
That's right.
Okay, because the gold, they're going to come out of that. The silver, they're going to come out of that sparkly clean and refined, pure, holy.
That's Amos the 9th chapter.
Yep.
Over the third in the fire.
Zechariah
13.
13.
It's like it's Zechariah 13.
And I would try them as gold is tried in the fire, in the furnace.
Yeah, and the fire represents adversity. And major adversity is coming down here to the earth, man. Okay? Scriptures tell you that it's going to be a day like no other. All right, keep going.
It says that you may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days.
Now, don't have that number in your mind when you catching hell, man. You count up the tail. It's the 10th day. Where the Lord at,
You
man?
got the rock in the cell. You know
Yeah.
how the rock in the cell, you scrape
Yeah.
before you cross it.
That's 5.
Yeah.
5 more days. The Lord gonna come deliver me.
2-3 more days.
You might be in there 5 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
That's just a period of time.
That's it.
Whatever it is, you got to endure it. You know, and don't have it in your mind. You counting. Okay, the Lord got to come this time. If you do that, the 10th day, the Most High might not come.
Yeah.
Just to bug you out.
But just know that somehow, some way, the Lord's gonna be there.
God.
And then let's say you happen to be one of those candidates for the beheading, then that's the way you glorify the Lord.
Yup.
But for the most part, all of the elect, outside of the ones that got to die for the Lord, are going to be delivered out of any type of trouble they may be in. All of them.
Yeah.
Whether you at the point of starvation, the Lord makes something happen to where you eat, whatever the case may be, the Lord's going to come through somehow, some way.
That's right.
You know? We don't know how it's going to go down, but we know it's going to go down.
It says, be thou faithful unto death.
Yeah, that's the point. Be thou faithful unto death. So regardless of how long you in there, keep the faith.
That's right.
Okay, endure. Strive for the truth unto death. All right? And Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai will fight for you. Okay, because if you start doubting, you start going astray from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, well, the scriptures tell you not to be dismayed. Which when you look that word dismay up, it means to lose enthusiasm. Okay, so if you're not as enthusiastic when it comes to serving Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because you catch a little hell, you ain't going to be defended. Okay, which is synonymous with you losing your faith. Okay, you get to a point where you just give up. I'm through. I've been in here too long, you know. Nah, have faith. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai can and will deliver you if you maintain your faith and your integrity, man. Okay, like the scriptures tell you, look at the generations of old. Did ever any trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, was confounded? The answer to that is no.
No.
So why wouldn't that apply to you?
Right.
Keep going.
Hey, we here, we doing the work.
That's right.
You know, hey, you know what the Lord said, you in the field, you're gonna get rewarded.
Right.
The Lord is not ungrateful, not ungrateful, Salakia. The Lord is not unfaithful to forget our deeds in love. That we do minister unto the saints.
Yep.
You know? So there's a reward coming. The Apostle Peter said, ask Yahweh Shai what? You know, we did all that, we gave up everything. What we gonna receive, you know, in return? He said, you gave up all of that, you're gonna get 100-fold. So there's a reward coming. Yahweh Shai got his reward, but he hasn't fully got his reward yet. Because he's sitting in the heavens waiting to come get his reward. But then when he get his reward and he start enjoying it, then God is gonna take it away from him, right? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, how long you been waiting for it? And
Yeah.
the Most High gonna give it.
And he's just sitting there
Take it right
patient, you know, waiting for the Lord, you know? And then when the Most High said go, it's over, that's it. When he was on the cross, he said it is
back.
done.
That's right. Yep.
When he
Yep.
comes down, it is done.
There ain't no more help coming, man. Well, Lamentations 4 and 21 or 22.
Yep.
You know. Keep going.
It says, be thou faithful unto death,
Yep.
and I will give thee a crown of
And
life.
Yahweh Shai said he's gonna give you a crown of life if you faithful unto death. Okay, and he ain't lying there, man.
Right.
All right, so if you do that, you're gonna get that crown of life. You're gonna get delivered. You're gonna get those new bodies. All right, there's more on that.
Yeah, I'll read this last verse. It says, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches.
That's right. If your spiritual ears are open, hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches. If you could read that to a random nigga, he ain't gonna understand what they're talking about, man. You know, why I gotta be in jail for 10 days? You know? Ain't God just supposed to give you blessings? Why he talking about me being in prison? Why he gonna let the devil do that? You know, that's for the elect. Okay? Keep going.
He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death.
Read that again.
Yep. It says, he that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death.
He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. Which the second death is the thermonuclear destruction. Which none of the elect are gonna taste that.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
If they are martyrs, they ain't gonna eat no missile. Okay, they're gonna be up in the chariots waiting for the house shine and the angels to come back. Okay? But they down here on the earth still, you ain't gonna taste that fire.
Yeah, man.
All right? The rest of you people, you're going to get burned up, man. But the only way to survive this is if you trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah and the Heavenly Father delivers you.
Yeah.
That's the only way out of it, man. Everybody else going to get burned up.
That's it.
All right? All the unfaithful, like it says in 2 Ezra 15, all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, man.
Yep.
So if you don't believe in the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, you hey, get ready to eat a missile, man.
Right, right.
That's it.
All right?
That's a reward. Hey, the unbelieving,
Oh,
and all whoremongers.
Yep.
And the whoremonger is not a dude that just pop a lot of women.
Yeah.
For you clowns out
That's
there.
crazy.
A whoremonger is a fucking pimp.
Yeah.
Right.
But y'all got it, man.
They so burned in the lake, or the
Lake of
that's
fire.
burning with fire
Yeah.
and brimstone.
That's it. Which is America.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Right.
So the Lord gonna take all the warmongers and unbelieving, take them out of America and throw them in the river over there,
Yeah.
outside of Israel.
Fiery river
From Basra to what?
to Megiddo.
To Megiddo.
It's a fiery river, brother. Don't forget about that fiery river, man.
That's crazy.
That shit gonna be on fire. So here it is, Salaka. The Apostle John was up in the chariot looking down at the lake of fire.
about to say that,
And he saw. And you mean to tell me, well, he gonna be changed, so he gonna have that keen eyesight.
Yeah.
You gonna see that little ass river of fire. Said, look, a lake of fire. You know what I mean?
He did that 100 times zoom. So
Never
he can see
mind.
it.
And never mind America being on fire. You know, but his bionic eyes went right to a lake. I mean, I'm sorry, to a
river.
To a river. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
You got it. You got it.
Got pre-sale.
That shit is crazy, man. You know, and that's what happens when you go too deep. When going too deep goes wrong. The elder Yashwamba.
You start to drown. You know, you could be a cool swimmer, and you can go out, but you start going into the deep water. Like, let me go out, and that water gets choppy. That water's cold. You never been in that territory.
Yep.
You don't have the stamina, and that water powerful.
Hell yeah.
You can't fight that water,
That riptide just takes you.
and it just takes you, and you just you just drown
Dude.
through. That's these guys in the scriptures, man. They drowning.
Yeah.
You know, we literally watching a spiritual drowning right before our eyes.
Yeah. But the thing about it is they think that they're like so prolific.
Right.
You know, oh, this terminology and that terminology. And when you go here and then this scholar over here, he agrees with what this scholar said, you know, that whole bullshit. But you don't realize that you're in a pit of hell, in a pit of misery. You know, being set up for destruction.
Right.
But mentally you thinking that you winning.
What if the prophet be deceived? How the Lord had deceived that prophet?
There you go.
You know, so it's all set. It's the movie of the Most High.
God.
You gotta have a false prophet. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
What would we be doing if everybody agreed with us? Would this be, you know?
There won't be no
It
drama.
would be no drama.
yeah.
It would be no back and forth. So the Lord, He got to set up individuals to go back and forth. You know, that's the Most High. This is the Most High's entertainment. You know.
Where he said that it pleased the Lord by the foolishness of preaching to save them which believe. The foolish, because really, the preaching out here in these streets, what we're doing right now, this is the top job on the planet. This is the best thing you could do. This is like the most important job you will ever have in your life. But to the Most High, this is foolish. Because he could go like that and everybody wake up. So he don't need us. But the thing is, this is how he set it up. You know, he said, you know, because through this, those that believe will be delivered, which are a part of the elect, the nation of Israel. You know?
Yeah, just like a you know, you go to a theater or something like that. They could just tell you the whole story up front. Oh, this is gonna happen. That's gonna happen. No, it's drama. It can be horror. It can be, you know, a comedy. They make a whole, and then they do what is it called? They put scenes in there to where it make you start thinking, and then at the end of the movie you find out what that scene meant. You know, it's a roller coaster of emotion.
They might go back to show you how it got.
Yeah,
to the point it's at right now.
There's a build up to the climax.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
That's it.
I got this real quick. This is Job 5:19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee.
What's the 7th trumpet? What's going to happen when that trumpet goes off is the thermonuclear destruction. Okay, it said no evil shall touch thee because, just like we read here, the elect ain't going to taste of that second death. All right, keep going.
It says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death.
In famine he shall redeem thee from death, which that's another thing that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai promised. But you people, you can't escape that. How you escape famine?
Right.
There ain't no food anywhere. How you gonna eat? See, how about Shemi Shai is giving us a way out? Now he's giving us a way out of the thermonuclear destruction, which is literally impossible for you to survive.
Yep.
Okay, without some higher power intervening.
Yep.
Same thing with a famine. How you gonna survive a famine if ain't no food out here, man?
Yeah.
Where you gonna get food from?
Pestilence.
Yep.
You know. You got it.
It says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death,
Uh-huh.
and in war from the power of the sword.
And in war from the power of the sword, you have these mercenaries out here, man. And these different marauding groups going after each other, like that movie, what was it, Civil War?
Civil War, yeah. What kind of American are you?
Yep.
Oh, you talking about just the people going
Yeah,
crazy?
well, nah, the scene where the nigga died.
Oh,
They was fighting each other in different groups. Yeah. He was in a war, man.
but no, the Jake don't ever make it to the end of the movie.
Oh, he shouldn't have been fighting anyway. That wasn't his fight, man. But Esau, so hey, it's clear.
Yeah.
He got chopped up, man. But it's gonna be groups out here shooting at each other, man. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is gonna preserve us from all of that, the famine, the pestilence. Okay, from the teeth of wild beasts. Because you're gonna have wild animals out here, man. Okay, mountain lions, other exotic animals, tigers, lions, bears, polar bears, all right?
Robot dogs.
We're going to be protected from all of that, man. All right, keep going.
It says, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh.
Yeah, imagine the type of spirit you got to be in destruction coming. You ain't even afraid, man.
You laughing.
Yep, that's the type of spirit that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to put on his servants, man. While these people bugging the hell out. You know? They get the alert that the missiles coming, you ain't even afraid.
Yeah.
These people, they scrambling everywhere, you know, trying to hide somewhere, trying to go the deepest part of the underground they can go to. Keep going.
It says, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the field.
Yeah, neither shall thou be
the earth.
Neither shall thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Because Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai gonna put the spirit on those beasts to be cool with you, man. Well, you read Sirach, the 39th chapter, it tells you that those beasts are created for vengeance. So the reason why you see people get attacked, their face get ripped up by dogs, they get slashed by the claws of animals, is because they did something wicked in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
And what about that woman at the homeless encampment? They found her body in the tent, and it was already eaten by the dogs.
Man.
So they found all those pits. You see these homeless people, they eat human flesh, man. So they're gonna be ready. They're gonna be ready to eat all these bodies that drop dead. Because when the famine hits,
Yeah, they're gonna be hungry.
people are gonna die, man. The elderly, okay, the children.
Yeah.
Right? They're gonna be the first ones to die. You gotta be a really resilient, strong, spirited to make it through that famine, man. And really, you need the Lord.
That's it.
But you know, the marauders, them dudes gonna be snacking on people's thighs and shit.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna be eating jerky ears, human ears, jerky ears.
Hey, the movie The Road showed you that.
Yeah.
You know, they was straight up down in the basement, locked up. You know, arms missing, hands missing, noses missing.
Yep.
What's that zombie series on AMC?
The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, yeah.
They was eating people.
Yeah, they was
Yep,
eating people.
yep.
And that was pretty much, you know,
Or Book of Eli.
the Book of Eli.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the zombies and all. That's an allegory for all hell breaking loose.
Yep.
Really. And these people in a zombotic mindset.
Yeah, there's a show on Netflix about survival, and they go out and they go camp and they camp out in the Alaskan wilderness. You seen that one? And them niggas all they eating is squirrels, and they end up start getting sick because your body can't be eating just squirrel meat nonstop. You know, and first of all, it's unclean abomination.
Yeah.
So that's why you see later on these groups of people, what do they start doing? They start eating humans.
Yeah.
Because it sustains them more. But really, that also leads to more disease.
Yeah.
It's that mad cow disease.
Right.
All right, mad cow disease, if you understood what was going on in the 90s, they was feeding dead cows to live cows.
Damn.
Okay, and so what would happen is that the cows would start getting brain aneurysms and go crazy. They start foaming at the mouth.
Damn.
And getting the shakes. That's what happens with the humans.
Yep.
They start hallucinating, their brain starts getting cooked because they're eating all those human flesh, and your body can't break that down. Plus, you got parasites and all these other things that you can't really burn through when you cook it, man.
Yeah, the human flesh is a demonic meat. You're not supposed to eat that shit.
Unclean.
You
Well, that's why you see these elites. You see these elites. They look like hell when they get to a certain age. They look like pure hell because all they've been doing is blood transfusions. Okay, eating babies, eating flesh of humans.
Blood.
All right, drinking all kinds of blood. And then you wonder why Michael J. Fox has got the shakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because he probably went crazy at the Illuminati feast, man. You see what they do? They got the human body out there, and they feast on it, man. Okay, and that's the type of shit the so-called white man does behind closed doors, but it's all coming out. And your people are gonna have to. That's gonna be your life force when all hell breaks loose. Okay, you're gonna be looking at other humans as meat, man, as a meal. Meanwhile, the elect, we ain't gonna worry about that. If you're part of the elect, Lord willing, we're part of that number. The Lord will provide for us. Okay, clean water, fresh water. Okay, food. Okay, just like how he feeds the birds. The birds they don't cook, they don't clean, but the birds eat. Man.
Peace of mind. You know, understand, because we understand what comes next.
Right.
You know, we understand that Jacob's trouble, our temptation is going to be, it's for a period of time, but it's not forever. Ultimately, Yahweh Shai's coming back. See, we have that hope, and then when we're actually in Jacob's trouble, it's like even more of an incentive to endure. Because we've been talking about it for years. And then all of a sudden we just, no, I don't know, it's not gonna happen. You know, what's going on? No, we here. You know, this is why, hey, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. We're gonna be like, you know, and then we're gonna see all the judgment. The Lord be judged all these demon women that we was with, all these motherfuckers that been fucking with us, all these false prophets. You know?
Quick precept to back you up. Luke 21 and 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
Yeah, what things come to pass? Well, you see what? The prophecies. Now we're seeing the rolling out of the MOTB technology. Okay, that's the more of a drive. That's the energy that fuels us to keep going. It's the prophecies of Yahweh Shema Shai. He's telling us through the word, through the works that he's doing, that he's real. And that he's promised this destruction as well as salvation. So we're actually seeing it being rolled out before our eyes. We're seeing the collapse of Babylon the Great. The collapse of these people's minds, the psychos. The love of many shall wax cold. We're seeing these people go crazy. We're seeing we're getting ready to come into we're in a transition period going into a digital currency. Right? Which is the precursor to the MOTB system. Okay, that's the foundation to make everything go. And you're gonna see things rapidly speed up when they bring in that digital currency.
Oh, well, that love of many waxing cold as well. Right, that moral decay. There's no camaraderie among the people. Okay, everyone's set one against the other. All right, and you're gonna look at other people like, no, I can't help that person because that person is gonna kill me. And that's the type of state we're entering into right now. It's not time. This guy Sakari, right? He wanna have a rizz-off with a very popular streamer who's probably never heard of the nigga, man. So yeah, we gotta have a rizz-off. We're gonna have a club, go in the club. Here it is. We literally at the end of hell's at the doorstep, man. You want to rizz bitches? You know, that's why guys like that, the Lord just got to chop their head off, man. Okay? We're looking up, we're seeing the signs, we're seeing how close things are getting. All right, all you got to look at is how the world looks at that state over there in our Holy Land, man. How they look at that state. And nobody likes them, man.
Yeah, they're getting exposed.
They're getting super exposed. Nobody likes them, and nobody in America likes them. I was driving down the freeway, all kinds of free Gaza people, flags. Okay, and then they got that billboard, the Jew Belong propagandist, saying, "Oh, you want to talk about Gaza, but you don't want to speak on what's going on in the Sudan." And first of all, the Sudanese aren't carpet bombing entire communities, man. If you look at the pictures of what Gaza looked like 3 years ago, so right now it's completely razed, it's gone. All right, and the people see that through their eyes. They're like, man, these people got no mercy. Well, that's who's claiming to be God's chosen people, man. Not only that, they're welfare babies. They're taking billions of your dollars, billions.
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay, and what is the majority of their billions going to spend on? On their retirement, on their pensions, okay, on their benefits. And not only that, on their weaponry.
That's it. That's
Okay.
the main thing.
That's the main thing, the weaponry, the death machines. And pretty soon, all this stuff, you see these Waymo cars, that's just the beginning of the death machine, man. AI-powered vehicles, autonomous vehicles. They want to have AI-powered autonomous drones. They're just going to strike you on sight, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be programmed. Okay, get this guy, this guy, this guy. They're going to have a long list. They're just going to transfer the data from the no-fly list, transfer the data from here. Okay, and they're going to go right after you, man.
Yeah, there was this one AI program or something like that. That they told them to shut down, and they refused the order and kept going, even though it was pre-programmed to shut down if they told it to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So they ain't listening to you.
Yeah, because the AI, it's a generative AI. Okay, it's going to figure out a way to stay going.
Yeah.
Okay?
They show you that in different movies.
Skynet.
Yep. What was the other? There was a movie called with Johnny Depp, Transcendence.
Transcendence. Yep.
You know, remember? And
You
then
want to upload his brain to the cyberspace.
there you go. There you go.
And that's the so-called white man. That's what he wants his afterlife to be. Him living in a server, man, in a data server. You're bugged out because it ain't no web of data being there. You got to have a database, man. You got to have servers. You got to have an engine to fuel it, to give it energy. Okay, that's not gonna last. All that, the Most High said to get rid of all that, man.
Yep.
Okay, before the destruction, it's gonna be gone, man. Okay, you're literally gonna see robot dogs chasing you, and the motherfuckers are gonna malfunction because the database is gonna crash. The Lord's gonna burn them up, man. Okay, just like how these special military bases, they always see what? They're always seeing chariots, man. They're always seeing chariot sightings, whether it be coming from the earth, the waters, or the Shabbat Shemayim, man. The waters of the heavens, man. Okay? And why is that? Because the Lord is watching. The Lord is operating. The Lord is in control. That's why you see what's happening right now. The strain with Russia is bad right now. Okay? The strain with Iran. Well, the whole thing right now is Netanyahu telling Trump, I want to strike Iran. I'm going to go in there and strike them. That's just showing you how wicked, okay, those guys are over there. They're bloodlust. They got a bloodthirsty, but hey, the least of the flock is going to draw them out. We know that in the scriptures. Man.
Yeah, it says thou didst not hate blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why your ass get chased out of every damn country, man. All right, they made special laws to ban you for the type of shit you're up to. Okay, go ahead. Papa Shaw.
This is Job 33. I'll start at verse 14. For the Most High speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth.
That's right. Hey, when you go into a deep sleep, sometimes that's when the Lord will come and speak to you, man, giving you a vision. Okay, keep going.
Then he openeth the ears of men.
And most of the time, the Lord is sending Satan after you, man. Okay, you think you're talking to the Lord? You're talking to Satan, man. He over there playing you like a piano, man. Go ahead.
It says, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man.
Yeah, because just like how the Lord controlled Pharaoh's heart, okay, he controlled Nebuchadnezzar's heart, and so on and so forth. He's doing the same as of right now. Okay. He put in the spirit of these wicked elites to do the type of shit they do. All right? And for you to dismiss it, you got a lot of these guys that still believe they can fix America by voting, by getting involved with the Republican Party, starting a third party. Yeah, we can really fix it. You're a bug out, man. You're a bug out. You want to become a congressman, you want to become a senator, you got to do dirt, man. You got to be grimy. You got to be part of the deep state. You got to have bodies.
You got to be part of the culture.
Yeah, you got to be part of the culture. You got to make sure you show their allegiance. Otherwise, they'll just kill you or your whole family. Kidnap your children. Okay. Find the love of your life, your wife. Get her, tie her ass up. Oh, I got to do this for her. Or they'll take your children away from you. Your mother. They'll do that to you to make sure you don't get out of line. Okay, keep going.
This real quick. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
That's right, and the rivers of water are powerful. Okay, very powerful.
and we're coming up to the great snow melt here in California. If you have a desire to go to the rivers out there in Central California, you got to be a bug out to hang out by the river, man. And some of the rivers, because if you get caught, that current will take you. You ain't coming back, especially if you're a little child. All right, you got a lot of these illegals that like going out to the river. They let their little children play out there, and then they look back, they're gone, man. Because that strong current of the river, and the Lord controls the currents of the river, and that's how He's controlling the power of these wicked elites, man. The heads of state, because the heads of state, they all control.
Yep.
All right, they set up a guy up there, and he gonna do. Well, look at this guy Joe Biden, right? That now the reports are coming out that Joe Biden, he wasn't there. Oh man, we should have known, right? Oh man, we didn't know. Everybody knew with a mind knew he wasn't there. He didn't know what was going on. They're finding out the puppeteers behind him and who they were involved with. They're all involved in that deep state, CIA, military industrial complex, man. And they're the ones pulling the strings.
Yep.
So who left the borders open? That's why when Trump said, he said, hey man, I know it wasn't Biden running the show because Biden would never open the border. If he was in his right mind, he would never do that. He's been in government for so long and he was always against that. All of a sudden he wanted that because it's all part of the plan of the elites, man. To break down America. America's being broken down, right, from all angles. Okay, financially, economically, morally, okay, spiritually, and they ain't gonna come back. The Lord ain't gonna allow you to bring it back. Let's say you're gonna have and where is the next black messiah, as they like to call him? Who is it? Larry Hoover? Diddy? Some rapping ass YN. Okay, there's nobody left for Jake. So what's Jake gonna do? They're gonna fall in line and get eaten up, man, by death. Keep going.
I got something for you. It's the book of Isaiah 46 and 8. I'm gonna read it in the NLT. It says, "Do not forget this. Keep it in mind. Remember this, you guilty ones. Remember the things I have done in the past. For I alone am the Most High."
Yeah, we got to remember the things the Lord done in the past. That's why we're not worried about the great destruction that's going to happen, because the Lord always protects His chosen, man, His favored one during those perilous times. Not only that, we're remembering all the things He did with Pharaoh, all the things He did with Nebuchadnezzar, and so on and so forth. Go ahead.
It says, "Remember the things I have done in the past, for I alone am the Most High. I am the Most High, and there is none like me."
That's right. There's only Yahweh Shem Shai. There's none else. Okay? You go to other nations, they got all kinds of different gods they believe in.
Yeah.
You go to Japan, they believe in all kinds of different gods. Okay? You go to the Himalayas, they believe in all kinds of different gods. Wherever you go in the world, it's a paganistic ritual going on, man. So the Lord got to get rid of it all.
Yeah.
Okay? Keep going.
It says, "Only I can tell you the future before it even happens."
That's right, and where the Lord stored that information. He put that in the scriptures, okay? And He gave it to His prophets to decipher those scriptures, to bring it out to you, okay? Because the word prophet meaning to say beforehand. So that's why we're telling you all these things beforehand, to warn you, to get you ready for what's to come, okay? That's why it's not time to be challenging Duke Dennis to a Rizzoff, man.
Really?
Bro, you gotta see this, bro. Yeah, man, you look dark skin, I'm the light skin. Nigga, first of all, you don't look like a light skin, you look like an Arab, man.
Yeah.
All right? You're delusional. Okay, and the black woman will be the first to tell you that. Bug out, go ahead.
Only I can tell you the future before it even happens. Everything I plan will come to pass.
That's right, everything the Heavenly Father planned is coming to pass. Okay, and what did He plan? He planned America to be destroyed.
That's right.
Okay, that's why America has gotten to where it's gotten and where it's going. Okay? I was listening to this demon, Jamie Dimon, right? You guys don't know who Jamie Dimon is. He's the CEO of Chase Manhattan. Okay? And you already know what type of guy he is. Okay? You already know where he's from. So he was saying that he was looking 20 years from now, right? So in 2040. He was 2045, 2050. He's saying, oh, by then, if America's not the strongest economy, if America's not the strongest military, America's not going to be the reserve currency. So he's already setting forth to either, hey, it's either we keep going with being the strongest economy and having the strongest military, or we just give it up, man, and go to what? A one world currency, which is what the direction that this world is going into, man. A one world digital currency. All right, keep going.
It says, everything I plan will come to pass, for I do whatever I wish.
Yep, I do whatever I wish, and that's the Heavenly Father's will. And what does he wish? He wishes for his elect to be saved up out of here. That's why he set up his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. Okay, to go through what he went through, so he could come back and bring great destruction on this place, man, and establish the kingdom of heaven. That's the will of the Heavenly Father. That's his main wish. Okay, so that the world will know that I am the Lord, as the Lord would say. Okay, and so this whole, everything you see is all part of the direction of the Heavenly Father, where he's putting America. Yeah, because the whole one world reserve currency, they want to talk about, oh, Bitcoin, secure, this and that. Hey, man, it's traceable. It's on a public ledger. Okay, yeah, you can't put a name behind it, but if you're smart enough, you can figure it out.
Yeah, well, the wallets have IDs.
Yeah, every part of the chip. Go ahead.
So the only thing that makes it anonymous is there's no name to those wallets. But as soon as they implement the digital ID, they make it mandatory. Then they attach your digital wallet to your ID. There goes your anonymity.
Yep. Yeah, the digital wallet is going to be directly correlating with your biometrics. You want to access your digital wallet, you gotta give them, open it up with your DNA, your eyes, your retina scan, okay, facial scan, fingerprint, whatever, man. It's going to be all on one thing, just for you to access your money.
Yep.
And that's the mark of the beast system.
And if you look at the blockchain now, you look at the ledger for Bitcoin, all the transactions going all the way back to its inception.
Yeah, they're there.
It's still there.
It's like a-
Okay, so all you gotta do is just put somebody's name to it. You can see all their transactions since it was implemented.
Yep.
Since it first came on the scene up until now.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they call the blockchain because they're hashes and they're blocks, and then every block has what? It has the name of the previous block, and then whatever, and then for that block. So every transaction is traced to the previous transaction.
Right, yep.
So it's always going to be traced. It's completely traceable.
That's it.
Unlike with gold, silver, cash, okay, you could hand it here to here and nobody can really see it, man.
Yeah.
You don't know who it came from.
Well, if it's on the blockchain, you can trace it all the way back to the first transaction.
Right, yep.
Okay, so that's the type of technology the so-called white man's going to be instituting with his world digital currency.
Yeah, and the reason he has that is for total control.
Yep.
So here it is, you got some credits, but you got it from a questionable individual, an individual that's dissenter.
Yep.
And it's gonna have that record on it. His wallet ID is gonna be on those credits that you got. Esau Edom, he gonna block it.
Yep.
He'll block the transaction, or he'll let you make the transaction, but then he'll take the funds away because it's not it wasn't a legitimate transaction.
If I say that every transaction is gonna have a chain on it, what they call a blockchain.
Yep.
They gonna control it. Like you put a chain over a servant, you control that servant. So it's pretty much new slavery. It's a new form of slavery through controlling transactions.
Yeah.
And then if they don't like that transaction, cutting you out of the system.
Yep.
So now you can't even participate in the they cause you to perish. They cause you to die. They cause you to be put to death.
Well, we were saying that the so-called white man's going to have your digital wallet completely linked up with your biometrics.
Oh yeah.
So for you to even make a transaction, for you to even get access to your digital currency, you're going to have to log in, man.
Yeah.
With your biometrics.
That's the chain.
Yeah. Whether it's a chip in your hand or in your head.
Yep.
Like that one Jake, I don't know if y'all seen it. He had one of the first recipients of the Neuralink. He had a big gash on the side of his head.
It was
you
a
know?
Jake.
Yeah. He said,
It's called Nigga Link.
damn.
It's like that, man.
You was waiting for that one. You was waiting for that, Jake.
That's Nigga Link.
Hey, but he done.
Yeah.
He took it. He said, welcome to 2025. That's the wave of the future. But you still got the MOTB, micro C-HIP deniers.
Right.
You know, look, it's gonna happen. It's happening. You know, what you waiting for?
Yeah.
You know, you waiting for an invitation? It's already out there. People are already taking it. You know, everything's already being moved in that direction. Like the elders are breaking down about the blockchain and you know how everything is linked to each other. You can trace everything. Them dollars that they make, they have serial numbers, but when you make a transaction, they don't. Oh, the serial number of so and so. They don't make mark all that down. But this transaction, they're gonna be able to follow and trace everything. Total control.
Yeah, and then even the ones you think that are untraceable, they can find you out. And there's this anime I've been watching called Lazarus. Your brother should watch that, man.
Where was it? Netflix?
It's on HBO.
HBO?
And they have the hackers, right? And they're trying to figure out, who paid that hacker. Because hackers, they pay each other through digital currency. Well, all they did is they just find the dates, finding what dates there is, and how large the transaction was. Like, okay, they're looking for the whale. They call them whales, right? A whale, they call digital currency talk. A whale splashes. When a whale comes up, it splashes and it makes a big splash, and then everyone can notice, like, that is a huge transaction. So what do? They hone in on all the different huge transactions, and from there they break it down, man. To the previous transaction, boom, 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 all the way back then, and they can try to move their way up. So with a little investigation, you can find it, man. They'll find you. They're going to take your Bitcoin. There's no way around it, man.
Yeah.
You're not going to find a way out of there, man, unless you're part of the elect.
Yeah.
That's the only way out. Oh, I'm going to be good. I don't need it. I'm going to have my cold digital wallet. Well, if the database is gone, okay, it went up in flames, what's your digital wallet going to do for
Or
you?
they don't deem that as legal tender.
You're gonna be
There you
X'd
go.
out.
Yep.
They ain't accepting cold wallets. You gotta have your micro C-HIP if you want to transact.
Yeah.
If your wallet ain't attached to ID, you're gonna be denied every transaction. Because in real time, you're gonna be getting cross-examined with the database.
Yep.
Is this
That's it.
individual in good standing with the government? Is he following all procedure?
Yeah.
You know,
Social credit
is
score.
his carbon footprint low?
Right.
You know, how much meat has he purchased? Or if you go to purchase meat and you over your meat limit, the transaction gonna get denied in real time.
That's
Or has
crazy,
he been
your meat
critical? Has he been critical of the government?
Hey, you know what's crazy, Salaka? You know what's crazy? That in the movie 1984, they had chocolate rations. You know, and they went from they made it the headlines from 30 to 20. No, I'm sorry, from 25 to 30. But it was really more, and they made it less. But it made it seem like they were getting a better deal. But it was just chocolate rations. And then in the scene where they were in the lunchroom, right? They were eating, but they were eating meat that wasn't meat. And the dude said, it looks like meat, tastes like meat, isn't meat at all. You know, but it was. I mean, this is back, in the movie 1984, way back in the day. You know, so they've been telling you what they're gonna do. Salak, Elder, you got it.
That Beyond Meat, man. That Simpro.
Yeah.
It's beyond me.
Yeah.
And then you look what's in that Beyond Meat. It's nothing but preservatives and crap.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill you.
But that's what you're gonna eat if you go over your meat limit, which really ain't gonna be much because the elites want the meat for themselves.
That's it.
Or you can get the bug alternatives. You're gonna eat the bugs.
Eat the bugs.
And also George Orwell, the writer of 1984, he knew about the elites.
Oh, he was
Yeah.
an insider.
He was an insider. That's why all his writings talk about, how the government going all the way to that other book he wrote, Animal Farm.
I believe George Orwell was a pen name. That wasn't even his real name.
And that's why they talk about dystopian Orwellian future.
Right.
You're living in it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's a thing going on right now where they're saying there's a huge Apple breach. So if you have an iPhone, it's a psyop, right? Because they're telling you, oh, you better update to the new iOS because the old iOS is corrupted, or your passwords have been stolen. But they haven't said that yet. So they're just saying a little bit beforehand. Well, all that could lead to a collapse, okay, of mass proportions because everyone has on their iPhones, they got their wallets on there. You got your debit card information, okay, your debit card information, your bank, your Apple Pay, your bank information has what? Has your Social Security, right? Okay, your Social Security is attached to what? Your birth certificate. So they can have all that right now, okay. So the so-called white man is going to use these excuses. Well, you know what? If it was in your right hand and your forehead, if we moved it off, if we moved it off the open internet source, we went to a closed source internet with the new digital currency, that'd be more safe and secure.
Wait a minute.
And that's the whole plan of the so-called white man.
Oh,
right now.
Salaki. It says Eric Arthur Blair, better known by his pen name George Orwell,
Right there.
There you go.
was a British essayist, journalist, and novelist.
That's it.
Eric Arthur Blair.
And he was also a futurist.
Yep.
You know, where basically 1984, he wrote that in the what was it 20s or the 30s?
40s. I
40s?
think, yeah.
Yeah, he wrote that in the 40s, and he said by 1984, this is how America's gonna look.
Right.
But it took because he was an insider. Or Britain, it was Britain.
UK.
Yeah, it was in the UK.
Yeah, the UK. He said this is how Britain was gonna look, or the world in general.
Which is, it does, Britain looks like that right now. They got to think, because in the book, they have a thing called the Ministry of Truth.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the Ministry of Truth is what? All lies. Which is what they have.
Fact checkers.
The BBC, the British Broadcasting Network channel, right? That's all state-funded media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's pure lies.
Oh man.
If you turn into that crap, you're really bugged out. And then also the British, they have the Ministry of Health. They're just feeding you poison, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all that stuff is actually happening. It turned the way he saw it. Why? Because he understood the plans of the elites.
Yeah,
Okay.
and in the movie V for Vendetta.
Yep,
Remember when they had that? I don't know if you remember the scene when they had the scene where they were broadcasting the news, and the dude said, the woman said, "Are they going to believe it? Our job is to tell the media, not fabricate or something like that.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
that's the government's job or some shit like that." He said. So pretty much, they show you that they feeding you bullshit.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, I gotta watch that V for Vendetta again. That's
that was a good one.
every time I watch it, I get a new.
Tough. It's tough.
Yeah, that's a good.
Well, it's the same thing. It's they're insiders, these movie producers.
Yeah.
Right, they're all insiders. They know the plans of the elite, and they put it in there. And what do they call it? Predictive programming.
Yeah.
You know,
that show
Esau's,
yeah.
basically his visions.
Yeah.
That show Lazarus, it goes into how they take a drug and then, hey, in 3 years everyone's gonna die from it. Okay. So there was a drug that everyone in the world took, and everyone thought it was a good drug, and then later, the monkeys they tested it on start dropping dead 3 years later, right on time.
The Crippen virus.
Yep.
Yep.
And guess what happens? The drug goes inside you, and it gets in your DNA and it mutates. It's a gain of function.
Yep.
All right. So there it is. It's all in your face, man, for you to see what's really happening, man. And these shows and the art they give you, man. It's the hidden in plain sight. It's part of their witchcraft.
Yeah, and Esau, just imagine Esau, he gets off on putting it out in front of you people, and you people just being oblivious to it.
Well, that's why the
Psalm
scriptures say,
64.
we're gonna laugh at their calamities, man, because we can see it. And we're telling these people, man, and we're gonna be in that spirit, like, well, who told you, man? That's why we're just gonna have to laugh it off on you. Because here it is. There you go. You took the chip. Now they're gonna hit the cyanide button on the chip, and you start melting, man. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go feed my kids. I gotta take the chip. You go and take the chip. Your kids already, they got kidnapped already. They already got trafficked.
Hey, at that point, when we come to the point where you knew you were Israelite, and we're in the time of the chip, and you take the chip, the Lord put a heavy reprobate spirit on you. He put a heavy demonic reprobate delusional spirit on you, and, for you to go ahead and take it. But guess what? You're gonna have Israelites that know they're the Israelites that's gonna take it. That's just how the prophecy goes.
Yeah, you're gonna have the 2/3. And you're gonna have those that's disobedient to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Well, it's written in there for a reason. You read Revelation 14:9. The Most High is telling you that's the consequence for a reason, because a lot of individuals gonna end up getting burned up. A lot of individuals gonna take that harassment.
Well, the dude with the nigger link.
Yep. But she probably seen a video. He's probably seen countless videos. What the nigga say? He probably watched ISUPK. The Most High ain't worried about you getting a little bit of surgery. So hey, it might be the mark of the people. So what? Jake gonna justify his wickedness, man. You got Psalm 64. Bring it out.
This is Psalm 64:1.
Can I read this real quick? And then I'll let you come in. This is Psalms 19 and 20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that receive the mark of the beast.
Yeah, because these people gonna be deceived into taking it. Because Esau, he ain't gonna come out just like with the Neuralink. Esau ain't telling you that, okay, look, this is the mark of the beast. You read Revelation 13th chapter. Okay, if you take this, you're gonna be pledging allegiance to the gods that I worship and me. Okay, you're gonna make a covenant, a perpetual covenant with me, and you're gonna go against your creator. The Most High gonna kill you. He ain't saying that. He's saying it's gonna be able to, you're gonna be able to tap in the internet. You're gonna be able to interface with these different, things that's out here, your cars, your computer, your video game system. This is the wave of the future. All right?
Salakia. It was Revelation 19 and 20. I said Psalm, Salakia. It says, and them that worship his image, these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. Well, what's that? Is that talking about that river of fire? Over there, was it from Basra to Megiddo?
That's that small little.
Yeah, it's a snake. It's ongoing.
Yeah, so he gonna take all the people that got the chips.
Yeah.
He gonna throw them. He gonna drop them.
So the dude with the nigga lick, they gonna drop him in that river.
But ultimately, the people that's gonna take that, they worship the beast.
That's it.
So they see this world, they see this society. They don't want to get like the dude that took the chip. He said it's 2025.
Exactly.
So he sees America going on forever.
Yeah.
So he getting with he want to get ahead of the crowd.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna get it in before everybody else does. Everybody else gonna be late. But America's gonna continue to go on. Esau Edom's gonna continue to rule. So whatever he dishes out, I'm gonna get on board with it because it's gonna be the next big thing.
Yeah, everybody wants to be on top of the latest technology.
Yeah.
You know, like the latest phone coming out, people are lined up.
Yep.
Overnight or just spending 2 days, lined up to get the newest iPhone or whatever the case.
So that's why there's the AI boom right now.
Yeah.
Every company has to have their own AI.
Yeah.
Well, there's the new one, Google Veo. Have you guys seen the
Google View. I heard it.
Man, that shit is crazy. That's gonna change a lot of things, because that's like, it looks like real people, and they're making their own skits and movies with it already. That's,
That Edomite dude was going into that.
yeah, the Google Veo is real crazy. So whatever you thought the deep fake was crazy, nah, man, the technology is getting so rapidly advanced, so fast, because they got the AI to help them.
Yeah.
The AI just puts it in, so they don't gotta work in the code anymore, man.
Right.
They plug in, all right, do this, boom, it hits it, and then they can add on to it. You know.
That show you that this place is finished, because the AI is pretty much replacing creativity. They don't want any creative thought. They don't want art. They don't want people to think. They don't want people to make music. Everything is just you type at the press of a button. You ask for a rap song or R&B song, or whatever, and it's already set up with the beat and everything.
Yep.
So it's like the creative juices of this place are finished. You know?
That's right. Well, what's his name? The dude who created Studio Ghibli, he was against AI use in his films. But then the ChatGPT went in and did all Ghibli prompts and all that, and so they went totally against the guy's wishes. He had no power over it, man. And now that's showing you that they could just get rid of entire movie studios now.
Yep.
Right? And everything's going to get replaced by the AI. But so, brothers, we understand it's wicked and all, but if you don't understand how to use it, you're going to be left behind, man. That's a skill that you got to understand how to use and operate with. Okay, use that to help you. You can use that to help you get precepts, man. You can use that to help you understand the history and the scriptures. Okay, use the word but not abuse it. Okay, but if you act like a bug out, like, oh, I'm not touching that. That's the mark of the beast. I am not doing all that.
Oh, you tripping?
You're really bugging out, man.
It's not the mark of the beast.
And you're tripping. It's not the mark of the beast. Right now, you got to, at the infant stages of it, because it is the infant stages, you got to understand where it's going. We know spiritually. But you got to kind of understand it and know how you can use it to help yourself advance.
The knowledge shall increase.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and the knowledge is increasing rapidly. So you already know what the main thing they're using with this AI. It was this company called Palantir, right? Palantir is created by Peter Thiel, right, and Alex Karp. You already know what type of guys those are. All right, but their whole thing is getting the digital side of the military, creating the programs for the military weaponry. They're a different type of military contractor. They're not necessarily building. Well, actually, they bought that one company where that guy made that AI missile, a missile that's controlled by the AI. So that's the whole point of this, of where this is going. Because the so-called white man, what is his real blessing?
Right.
Everything goes back to the sword. And everything he gets is he's gonna find out a way to bring mass death with it, and he's diabolical. Okay, so he'll tell you, oh, this is gonna change the world. Everyone's gonna be happy. Knowledge is gonna be increased. You don't have to go to a doctor anymore. You just go to the AI and get diagnosed or whatever. Get your protocol, whatever, straight from the computer. But really, he wants to kill you. He wants to find out a way to bring mass death and destruction. And the Lord set him up to do that, exactly that. Okay?
Psalm 64:1, to the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy.
Yeah, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. All right, because we're not in fear of Esau Edom. We actually want him to hurry up and get it over with, man. We fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay? We understand Esau, what he's supposed to do. We understand the plight of our ancestors. Okay? And what they had to do just to survive. Okay? To make it so that we could be here right now to curse out the so-called white man to his face. Right? At one point in time, we were in hardcore bondage. Okay? He was cutting out our tongue. Okay? He was plucking out our eyes. All right? He was chopping off our noses, our ears. Everything, man. Castrating you.
Jay couldn't read the scripture.
Jay couldn't read. Oh yeah, we lobotomize you, man. You get too smart, you'll just fucking let me lobotomize your ass.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now you got it where the Heavenly Father set it up to where we're using your technology to tell you your own destruction. How about that, Esau? And see, and where can you go from here? Well, the elder brought out. He mentioned Lamentations, right? What's there for him to enjoy? All he got to enjoy is the pride parade, man. The Fetty. You got two things. Well, actually, they mix it up. That's part of the pride. All right? You do Tusi, Fetty, and you go to a pee-pee pool, man.
Damn.
Go ahead.
It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Read that again.
It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
Yeah, the secret counsel of the wicked. Because we understand that the so-called white man is setting up all these new agencies. There wasn't no Homeland Security before 2001, all right? And within Homeland Security, you got the NSA, National Security Agency, right?
Yep.
And they also got the NISA or NIH, National Intelligence, all kinds of different things.
Yeah.
And what are they getting to do? They're over here studying you. They're finding out this person, that person, creating files on you. Okay, trying to dry you out, trying to set you up. These are the things that are coming for our people.
Basically, they finding out ways to implement their plan of extermination for the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Mm-hmm. And also, they'll find guys like the Sakari and set him up to lead men astray, man.
Yeah, because how does a nation really go down? It implodes from within. So they can't have dissension, and sedition within their border. That's how a nation is taken down. That's when the opportunity, the other nations have the opportunity to come in when you're divided and conquer. Mm-hmm. So they got to make sure the house is in order, but they're doing it in deceptive manners.
Mm-hmm.
It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Yeah, there's going to be an insurrection, meaning an uprising against the world, but mainly against the people of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Like it says, there's a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Because that's the main. See, Esau knows that out of all these different platforms that you got out here, the main thing that's the most damaging to his agenda are the Israelites. And that's why he comes against it so much. He'll paint, because, he'll make people downplay it by saying that we're bugged out, we don't know what the hell we're talking about, but really they're in fear of what we're speaking about because that's prophecy. Mm-hmm. The Lord said that they would be in fear when they see the Israelites standing in these latter times in front of them. They're going to be looking at this and, that the Lord told them, look, I'm going to set them in order before your eyes. So that's what's happening right now. And seeing that we still at the bottom, you know, this truth is making an impact on those that are way up in the society. You know, way up in the highest parts of the world.
Well,
You know?
Esau Edom, he spent the past century and a half trying to disprove the scriptures.
Yep.
All right, through his academia,
Yep.
his so-called science, falsely so-called.
Yep.
Okay, creating just hoaxes and lies for you to believe in, to deny the scriptures as the truth. Right, and now the scriptures are back at the forefront. The scriptures are back at the forefront of the only thing that is keeping your feet grounded to reality.
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, you're going to be gone in this whole matrix of lies.
Because he understood that the scriptures is pretty much the blueprint to tie everything together what's going on. But if he gets people to not believe in the Bible, you know, that's a man-made book, we don't believe it, then that'll lessen the blow of what the scriptures are saying. If I may read this one precept.
This is Second Thessalonians 2:8, and then shall that wicked be revealed.
That's what he's afraid of. Go ahead.
Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Which are the prophets, and they're going to do what? Use the scriptures. So that's why he got to demonize the scriptures. Then he got to demonize the men that are teaching the scriptures and breaking them down properly. Because that's the only way, that's his only defense against the truth. You know, but he's so stupid that he don't realize it's futile. You can't fight against this truth. The truth is undefeated. You know, because all we're doing right now, we're exposing you through the scriptures, and eventually the Lord's going to come in and bring the judgment. All we're doing is sentencing you. We're pretty much just, you know, look, Esau, these are the charges you've been brought up on. You raped, robbed, murdered, stole the whole world, did this, that, the other, and these are the, you know, this is what you're going to pay for according to what the Lord said. That's the sentencing stage. And what is the penalty? 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, your kingdom being destroyed, you know, your military's being abolished. You know, now when the Lord comes back, then he'll take you down, and then he'll bring all the rest of these things into action. And these devils know that these things are going to happen because they have those also that study and tell them the same thing that we're telling them. You see? So go ahead, finish that up.
It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, which are the missiles and the lasers from the chariots. Go ahead. Read on.
It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
Because they are the devil. They are the adversary to the Most High. They're the ones that oppose. So the Lord, when you hear about Michael and the angels fight against the dragon and his angels, that's talking about that great war that's going to take place up in the heavens. You see? Go ahead.
It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders.
With all power and signs and lying wonders. Why? Because the power of the earth was given unto them. So not only do they have the power of the earth, they also have the power to control the media. They also have the power to control publishing. You know, whatever people get into or listen to, the education system, the political system, the monetary system, they have control of all of these things. You know, so they're able to manipulate all of that and use that to deceive the world. But see, they don't understand that everyone cannot be bought. Because the Lord got a heavy spirit on his men not to fall for that shit. To keep going forward no matter what. The ones that sell out are the ones that are not a part of the elect.
That's right.
You see? Y'all got it.
I got a precept for you.
Go ahead, bring it out.
This is 2 Corinthians 10:4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds.
So check this out. China got a great military, missiles. Russia got a great military, missiles. Iran, they got believe it or not, they got a really strong military, missiles. Other nations have strong armies and missiles. But then these devils are not afraid of them. They're afraid of this lowly truth. They're afraid of the lowly truth, you know, because the truth is gaining traction. You know, it's becoming stronger and stronger. It's becoming more and more evident and it's coming to the point where they can't resist it anymore.
Yep.
Remember what Yahushua said, I will give you a mouth with wisdom that none of your adversaries shall be able to gainsay nor resist. So that's what's happening. It's like a snowball effect.
Yep.
You know, it keeps growing bigger and bigger and bigger. The more it rolls down the hill. You see? So and they can't do nothing to stop it. It's inevitable. You know?
It's like after the time when the Lord, after his resurrection, and then he went back into the spiritual realm. What happened? The word was magnified.
Beautiful, yeah.
It became too big. It kept going.
That's right.
The powers of the at the time, the Romans, they couldn't fight against it.
Yeah.
All right. No matter how many Christians, as they were referred to as,
Right.
no matter how many of them they put in the Colosseum, they get eaten by lions or executed on the cross, crucified. Thousands of more came up. Man.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
It
that's
shows
right.
you that, 70 AD, they thought that they were going to suppress it and stomp it out. But that was just another stage in prophecy.
Well,
For everything to come on this side of the world.
and also not only that, to show you that the
It's a
word,
lesson. Another stage.
the
in
word was
prophecy.
for the Israelites that were scattered abroad, man, not just in the land.
That's it.
Okay, the word was out there to all the Israelites that were living all amongst the known world at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so they all came to the knowledge of the resurrection of our Lord.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and that word kept being passed on, and you couldn't stop it. The so-called white man had nothing to do.
And guess what else was heavy back then? Deceptions,
Yeah.
apostasy,
Yes, sir.
false teachings.
Yep.
You see, which is the same thing we're witnessing right now. So prior to 70 AD, there was a lot of lies being taught, a lot of apostasy being taught, a lot of coming against the truth. It's the same thing we're witnessing right now, prior to this society going down.
That's it.
That's right.
I'm going to read this in the NLT, 2 Corinthians 10:4. It says, we use the Most High's mighty weapons, not worldly weapons, to knock down the strongholds of human reasoning and to destroy false arguments.
Yeah, because that's Esau's religion, political, and philosophical, scientific. All of these things have been set up by Esau to deceive the world. That's why I said, well, when you go to this, experiment and and E equals MC2, and you go through all of these different scientific terms, it proves that the Bible is not real because the earth is so and so. When you look at the crevice on this rock here, it dates back 20 billion years ago. Shut the fuck up, Esau. Science falsely so-called.
That's it.
Part of his deception, like
Yeah.
you said.
Hey, because the main thing that they are scared of is the scriptures,
Right, the truth.
and the prophets.
Yep.
Remember in the book of Eli, my man Carnegie, they'll believe it if it says it in the book.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he understood the power of the book. He understood whoever controlled that book controlled the minds of the people.
Yeah.
Because you could deceive them or you could give them the truth.
Well, the book had authority.
That's it.
The book has the authority, man, and that's what sets forth order.
Yeah.
Okay, and that authority is going to be brought back in the kingdom of heaven, man.
Yeah.
Okay, the Lord's going to have to bring that back by breaking down this place all the way down.
Yeah, that's it.
See, you want to do this madness out here.
And that's what he's doing right now systematically with the word. He's hacking away at it. And the Lord could easily take it down,
Yeah.
but the Lord likes to just hack at it little at a time. What's this guy? Hack it little at a time, just smacking it here, smacking it there. We know how like you toying with somebody, you can knock him out, but you're just toying with him. That's what the Lord's doing. He's just toying with Esau until he just lowers the boom on his ass.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Lord's just slowly chipping away at that stone, man. Okay, create that new structure, that new pillar.
He grinded it.
Right?
Yeah.
That great millstone.
Yeah.
That's the word. The word is going out. It's just day in and what they call Jake. I'm grinding. Meaning you on top of your shit. It's 24. What they call it? 25/8.
Yep.
Meaning you going actually above and beyond the number of hours and weeks in a day.
Yeah.
It's a non-stop thing, man. And as a whole, the word is going out non-stop.
That's it.
Okay.
It says we destroy every proud obstacle that keeps people from knowing the Most High.
Woo! And what's that? The scriptures. They want to put a negative light on the authority. That authority is the word, the book. Because if you could make the authority of the book, be lessened, then you could pull away people from believing in the Most High. But you can't get everybody.
Right.
You just say you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all of the time. Because you have the elect. You have the elect. Go ahead.
It says we destroy every proud obstacle that keeps people from knowing the Most High. We capture their rebellious thoughts and teach them to obey Hamashiach.
And they're able to draw in the ones that are being deceptive, the ones that really are full of shit. Because you have a lot of people out there that's full of shit. Just to put it in blatant terms. But the ones that are sincere, the ones that are part of the elect, they're not going to be able to get caught in that web. Because they're going to have the oil, to be able to glide underneath that web. You see, there's like a spider, like Elder Apostle Gabar broke it down. The reason why a spider don't get caught in their own web is because they have oil on the tips of their what you call it,
Legs.
the legs, and they're able to glide over it. So the elect will be able to glide through all of the maze of lies that these devils got out here.
Well, even also the owl. The owl is able to see at night because it has the oils in its eyes. So we're going to be able to see through all this darkness.
Right. Yep.
With the Isaiah 60, you can start at the top.
That's
Talk
it.
about the light arising upon
Somebody
you.
could get that for the elder.
Okay, and gross darkness the rest of the people. Okay.
And this is what the devil did. This is what the beast did. When America was set up into power, actually before that, when you go back to the Renaissance, what they did was they lied to the world. What was that you just said?
Isaiah,
No, you had just mentioned something. No, I'm sorry, Salaki. And then when the beast came into power, going back to the Renaissance, it said that they deceived the world. That was the very first thing that they did. You had some, bro?
Yeah, quick one. 2nd Ezra 6:27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched.
That's it.
As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome.
Boom.
And the truth, which had been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
Right, and the truth which has been so long without fruit shall be declared. And that's what we're seeing right now. So to really, this is the greatest threat to the New World Order, is the truth. They don't like different truther groups that bring out different information on the hidden masters and all of that. But the main thing that they hate is this truth right here.
yeah, there's 100% truth.
Yeah, well, like we was mentioning earlier, the key thing, the key component that those individuals are missing is the Heavenly Father and His Son.
That's it.
Okay, because you read the prophecies and it lays everything out.
That's the point.
Right? The Most High said what's going to happen to these individuals.
Yep.
The Most High said what world is getting ready to come. A world where dwelleth righteousness.
That's it.
All right, and then if the people don't know that, then they're gonna think they're gonna go along with Esau, Edom's plan.
Yeah.
All right, but when you learn the truth, then you begin to rebel against that. And we got the ultimate power on our side. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Yeah.
Okay, and us coming out here and proclaiming these things, the Heavenly Father is pushing this prophecy forward even faster, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
So Esau, he don't want that to happen. If the people, like the apostle was mentioning, if the minds of the people are dull, then really the Most High ain't gonna be making no moves. Because the people aren't aware of what's going on, but this truth is going out, man.
Yeah.
So you being made aware of the plans of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Well,
And
that's
the
it.
Most High is moving.
If I say where there's no vision, the people perish.
That's it. That's it. Hey, and nobody on the planet Earth is breaking down the prophecies of the scriptures like we're breaking them down through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Rakakudash. Nobody on the planet knows about the 7 heads, the 10 horns, the scarlet colored beast, the whore that sat upon the beast. They don't know none of those breakdowns. But then when we broke it down through the spirit of the Lord, they're like oh shit. Because you have those that break it down and say that that's talking about the Roman Catholic Church because there's 7 hills and the bullshit. That's not what that's talking about.
Or
It's
they
talking
think
about
it's
something
some
else.
mythological beast. They actually think it's
There you
some
go.
sort of some sort of Goliath of a beast.
Yeah, yep.
For a beast with 7
Yeah,
heads,
it's
10 or
yeah,
dragon.
or actual
Yeah.
dragon. They think that.
What makes most people believe the Bible is a book of fairy tales.
Yeah.
They can't really equate it because the prophets weren't on the scene to break it down. And now that the prophets are on the scene to break it down, you see this world fighting against it. Because what does that mean for them? That means that their world is going down.
That's it.
Okay, and Jacob's world is coming up. And then also these truthers, they never tied the so-called white man being tied him to being Esau. Guy.
That's it.
All right.
Which they can't because they don't have the Holy Spirit.
Yeah,
That's
they don't know the mystery of iniquity.
Yeah.
Oh, but also, as the apostle was saying, right, about how during the Renaissance they came with that, they had to come with a new narrative.
Yeah.
So they had to have that papal bull.
Yeah.
Okay, they made that papal before they set sail.
1493. Yep.
Before they set sail, they made a papal bull. They made that Doctrine and Discovery. All right, stating what they could do with this book.
Yeah.
All right, and they created a whole new narrative, and they put pictures in front of it.
Yeah.
Because back then people couldn't read.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had to know, and you had to read the Latin. If you
Right.
want to even understand,
Beautiful.
what they were talking about, you had to understand Latin because they would all do all their church proceedings
Yep.
in the Latin. So that's why when the 1611 came out, that was a revolutionary thing
Yeah.
because now it was put in the common man's language.
There you go.
The King's English.
That's it.
So anybody could get access to the Bible.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. That's why you start seeing all these new factions of so-called Christianity
Yeah.
sprouting out of that.
Because they started to understand the scriptures. Because it went back to the 1500s and like different translations in the English, they were made so that the common people could understand it. Because the common person was just that common. They didn't know the Latin.
Yeah, they didn't know.
Proof of that is a movie, Braveheart. Where the kid, remember the kid, he had his uncle's sword, and he said, "Look, did you hear the eulogy?" He said it was in Latin. He said, "You don't understand Latin?" He said, "We shall remedy that." Because that was the beginning. It just shows you that everything was done in the Latin, and the most people did not understand the Latin language.
Yep. And that Latin was used to keep you people in a state of ignorance.
Yep.
Okay. And now that's why we have it in the King's English, and we're here in Babylon.
Right.
To tell you the truth out of the scriptures. Yep. That's why Esau, the so-called white man, you got no control over what the Heavenly Father got going for you.
Yeah.
That's why he shook.
That's it.
That's part of the gospel. That's part of what we tell him.
Yeah.
Not only Esau, Edom, but the whole world. You have zero control of what takes place down here on the earth.
That's it.
But if people are ignorant of that fact, that the Most High is in control of everything, they think Esau's in control.
Yeah.
That's why the nigga got the
Yeah.
nigga link. Because he thinks that Esau
Money,
is
money,
the driving
money.
force of the earth. Yeah. Okay, whatever Esau does, and I better hop on board with it because in the future it's going to be the next big thing.
Well, that's part of his deception. He was given power to go out through the earth and deceive people
That's it.
into what? Believing that he is God.
Yep.
And that he is the individual that's going to bring humanity to peace.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or he can start war. Well, he can control the weather. He can control the way. He got technology to make people see and make people walk, even though it look bugged out. But nevertheless, the people don't understand this.
Right.
And now the prophets are coming out, and really the Most High don't want everybody to understand.
That's it.
It's all about the elect.
That's right.
And that's
it.
what fucks them up even more. Because we're not coming out here saying God loves everybody, everybody come in. We say the Most High gonna take most of you out.
Yeah.
Okay, so a small percentage of individuals down here on the earth that the Most High is dealing with, man.
That's it.
All right, that's the elect. Just like Noah, right? His 3 sons and their wives. The Lord only saved 8 people during that time, man.
Yeah.
Which was a representation of the elect in this time. Okay? The Lord is going to save a small number. He's going to burn the rest of you people up. Which America is the lake of fire. Okay?
That's it. Are you sure it ain't that little river?
The little river.
The river Styx.
Well, those doctrines, they don't hold up. Because, see, the reason why we're so confident and bold is because it's going to happen.
That's it.
Yep.
You're gonna if you're here in America, you're gonna experience the lake of fire.
That's it.
That's the best way to show somebody, right? To teach somebody what on the job experience, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're gonna experience burning in the lake of fire. You're gonna experience Jacob's trouble. We're not gonna have to tell you no more that this is the MOTB. You're
Right.
gonna see the chipping stations. So that's why we're confident in saying that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna happen.
And it's happening right now.
That's it.
You already see it rolling out. You already see the prophecies of Yahweh Shem Shai coming to pass. And then also, like you read earlier in Isaiah 46, you can look in the past and see the prophecies of Yahweh Shem Shai is coming to pass.
Oh, yeah.
For prime examples, Daniel the 7th chapter, Daniel the 2nd chapter.
Right.
All those kingdoms came in succession, and Daniel got that vision. Nebuchadnezzar got those visions before those kingdoms ever existed.
That's it.
So why did the future play out that way? Because Yahweh Shem Shai wanted it to play out
Not
that
only
way.
that, why is the prophecies always concerned with these kingdoms, these great civilizations?
Yep.
But America's not in it.
Yeah.
Right.
America's the cherry on top of the pie, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, it's the It's that final piece.
That's right.
That's it.
That
Okay.
last beast that
Yeah.
you read about in Daniel the 7th chapter. And that beast gonna get burned.
Here it is. America it's the greatest empire on the planet. It controls everything in the world, but it's not going to be mentioned in prophecy.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
biggest,
I forgot to mention.
the biggest war machine ever to exist. Not only that, it has all the Israelites here.
Yeah,
It has all the Israelites. All 12 tribes are here in America, man.
that's it.
And we're all suffering. The kingdom of heaven suffers violence to this day.
This is Isaiah 46 and 10, declaring. Let me read verse. Yep. Isaiah 46 and 9. It says, "Remember the former things of old."
Yeah, the former things of old are the old prophecies that Yahweh Shem Yahushua spake in the past.
That's it.
That came to pass, such as Daniel the 2nd chapter, Daniel the 7th chapter, which those prophecies were fulfilled partly. There's still certain parts that need to be fulfilled. Okay, concerning the toes and concerning that last beast, which we in the last beast.
Right.
Okay, we actually are under the authority of that little horn that you read about Daniel the 7th chapter.
That's it.
Okay, that little horn is America, man. And what's gonna happen to that last beast is gonna get burned up in a thermonuclear fire.
And the crazy thing about it is the scholars, they'll say that, the first beast, that's the Babylon, the second beast is the Middle Persian Empire, the third beast is Greece, and the fourth beast is Rome.
Yep.
But that's where it ends.
Yeah.
So why isn't the kingdom of the Lord on the earth yet? Because you forgot about the little horn. What happened to what's up with the little horn?
Yep. They don't want to go into that.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it goes into in Revelation how the deadly wound, the beast was that
wounded.
had that wound,
Yeah,
but did live. It got healed, which
Yeah.
is America today.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's a reason why the so-called white men called it the Renaissance.
There you go.
Literally meaning the rebirth.
That's right.
Earth.
The rebirth of what?
Rebirth of what? Greco-Roman art, culture,
Architecture.
everything.
Yep.
Okay? The
The
government,
image.
philosophy. Okay? Yeah, because your government is based on what? Greco-Roman democracy.
Yeah.
Republican representative democracy. Right? That's part of the Greco-Roman. So that's that little horn. That's
right.
that beast, that healing.
Well, even on the back of your dollar bills, this is supposed to be America, right? Everything's supposed to be in English. English is the official language of the country,
Right. I thought it was.
but it's Latin on the back of your. It's Latin on your money.
Why?
If you go to if you get a degree from Harvard, it's not in English. It's all in the Latin, man.
Damn.
It's all in the Latin, in the Roman numerals.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no U's, it's all V's. Okay,
What about law? Legalese.
Yep.
And then everything's codified, right?
Botany,
Yep.
Botany.
Botany,
Yeah.
right? And then the species.
the species.
Yep.
Yep. Everything go back to Latin.
Everything's in the
Habeas
Latin.
corpus. That's a Latin term.
That's a Latin term. All the laws codified, right? Justinian law. That's the word justice goes back to Justinian, and that was the Roman. That was one of the. I'm not mistaken. I forget which emperor, but he codified the law.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so that's where you get that word justice from. Okay, and
Yeah, Justinian was a Jake.
and he was a Jake.
Yeah, that came later.
And that's all that whole Greco-Roman. A lot of the Greco-Roman great architecture was built by who? Jakes that were part of that Hellenistic.
Yeah, that's why
Somebody
it was so
get
great.
Revelation 13, 15.
That's why those
Matter of fact, you can start
Rome
at
was so
11.
great because you had Jake that was there. That made it great. Just
Yeah.
like America, Babylon.
Same with Greece.
You know.
Why are there Roman numerals on the back of a American dollar bill? And on top of that, why is there an Egyptian pyramid in the back of the dollar?
And
You
then
know?
it says Annuit Coeptus in the Latin.
And just that alone right there proves that the Lord set up America to be the revival of the Roman Empire and also spiritually known as Egypt.
Yep.
And Sodom.
And
not
Sodom.
not only that, that American dollar bill wasn't printed until they got the Federal Reserve going. Man.
You had enough, huh?
There wasn't riding horses in the wild west with the pyramid on the back of the bill, man. That didn't happen until that Federal Reserve got instituted. And we all know who's behind that.
Yep.
Okay.
Small hats.
Right?
The rough
We have something that could see. My man, he said he had enough.
Oh yeah, the Cholo.
He was
yeah,
getting,
he had to get up
he
there.
was getting
Yeah,
bombarded.
And he had to go back in the lowrider and put on some oldies, man.
Damn.
It's too much.
Hey, do that with that one dance they be doing? Yeah.
The truth start coming
Yeah,
out.
he had to go
too
find
much
his
for him.
ruka, man.
Yeah.
Go back to my ruka.
You know, that one dance is bad as hell,
He
though.
needs the comfort of a warm torta.
Yeah, oh Lord. Yeah, they be getting down to it, just like the same move, but they be getting down though. Yeah.
Those are heathens.
No, man, they're arrows. Nah, fuck out of here.
Isaiah 46
Those are
and
jakes all
9.
the way.
Remember the former things of old, For I am your power,
Uh-huh.
and there is none else.
Yeah, there's no power like Yahweh Shemi Hawashah. Only the Heavenly Father is able to do these things. All right, you got, so-called gods out there, they're able to predict the future, but it don't come to pass.
Right.
Keep going.
It says, and there is none else.
Uh-huh.
I am the Most High, and there is none like me.
There's no God in existence like Yahweh Shemi Hawashah. All right? And you people
right.
gonna learn that. All right? Keep
Well, his name,
Oh, yeah.
I am.
Uh-huh.
He to be.
Yep.
You get no higher than the Most High.
That's right.
He is now, and whatever is to be, he's that too.
He exists.
That's it.
He's the breath.
He encompassed everything.
Everything.
You know?
He's omnipotent.
That's
And
it.
he's always existed.
He's all seeing, all knowing.
All fell in.
That's it. Declaring the end from the beginning.
Yeah, and the end has been declared going all the way back to the beginning.
Yep.
Okay, when man was first placed upon earth, first of all, the prophets have always been here. And
Always.
this prophecy has always been here about America being wiped off the face of the earth and the world of righteousness being established down here.
That's it.
All right?
And the prophets are always looking for the suffering of the Messiah and the glory that should be revealed after.
That's right.
They always knew that, going all the way back to the beginning. Hey, when Adam heard the voice of the Lord in the cool of the day, who do you think he was talking about? They were talking about the prophets.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, the prophets, which were called seers, they've always been there.
Yeah.
And they've been telling you what's going to happen in the time that we're at now.
That's right. They all been waiting for this time that we in. They all been waiting for when the wicked gets destroyed and the righteous gets set up and established forever. All right?
It says, and from declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done.
And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, such as the MOTB. Okay, that prophecy was revealed to John in the ancient time. All right? And now it's coming to pass. Thousands of years later.
Ain't that something? It's true what brother be saying. We're living in the greatest time ever.
Oh yeah, this is.
It's the worst time, but it's the greatest time.
That's right. Yep.
Because it's the worst time because of the decay of this society and the way that things are and the degeneration and the breaking down of the body and everything. But as far as prophecy, it's the greatest time ever.
We at the end.
Yeah.
We at the time where the mercy that Yahweh Shemi Hawashah has promised going all the way back to the beginning is getting ready to be dished out, man. That's right. Okay? The same mercy that Adam was waiting for, we get ready to inherit that. Yahweh Shemi Hawashah will be part of the elect, man.
Yeah.
We get ready to be restored back to our original state. Those immortal bodies that the Adamites had, we get ready to get those back, man. And have rulership again down here on the earth because the Adamites are set up as rulers.
But don't forget, bro, after 1,000 years, God is going to get us.
Oh, yeah, fuck.
Put us back in captivity.
Yeah,
Can't forget about that.
I got
That shit is just fucking ridiculous.
I got a piece of what you just said earlier.
What happened to the everlasting joy, though? That don't bring joy to my heart thinking about fucking heathen
Yeah.
taking me down, man. And
Yeah.
I got a new body, too.
But it says that in Daniel 2, it says that the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
That's right.
The affliction
That's
shall
the end
not.
of it.
The affliction shall not rise a second time.
And that was the end of it, man. When Daniel had that dream, he told everything. It wasn't no hidden part of the dream, and he left out. He said, I told you all the matters, man.
And he
that
said,
was the end of it.
and he said the prophecy is sure.
Fuck you guys talking about, man.
Yeah.
Imagine you got the spiritual power, but the Most High gonna restrict you. You can't use it to take the Russian army out.
Yeah. Edomite gonna get you in the spiritual body. You in the
You
extraterrestrial body.
You sitting chilling, sipping some yayan and shit. And all of a sudden, God just start grabbing you, put chains. He's like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?" You know?
You see Prism Storm.
Yeah.
You fucking through. The powers just stop working.
No, the earth is
Fuck
gonna
outta here.
open up, man, and a nigga with horns and a red tail gonna come out.
Nigga link,
Take Israel down. That's the only way.
nigga money.
Luke 10:24. For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see those things which ye see.
That's right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because we at the end, man. This is what all the prophets have been asking about.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Ezra, read 2nd Ezra 6th chapter, he was asking the Heavenly Father, why, if Israel, your chosen people, and your fervent lover, why are we under the rulership of the heathen?
That's it.
Why aren't we in our position, the position that you created us to be in? So all the prophets were wondering about this. So what was the first question that the disciples asked the Lord when
That's
he
it.
resurrected?
That's it.
Well, now at this time, restore again the kingdom to Israel, man.
Yeah.
This is what everybody's been waiting for. We right at the door of this thing.
And what's it called when the disciples, the apostles knew that it wasn't that time, they got depressed.
Yeah.
They became sad. You know, they became sad that Yahweh Shai wasn't going to take the Romans down at that time. They weren't going to be established as the rulers of the earth.
But they didn't get offended and they continued on the mission.
Yep.
Because remember what the Lord said, wait in Jerusalem till you be endowed with power from on high. And then not too long after that, that's when the day of Pentecost came in, and then all of a sudden the spirit came on them, they got the power, it was over. They got over that depression quick.
Yeah, because they knew that they was going to come back.
That's right.
They were going to come back and prophesy on the uttermost part of the earth.
Yeah, that's what Yahweh Shai told them.
That's what Yahweh Shai told them. When he breathed that breath of life into them, then they understood. They understood their role, what was going to happen. They was going to come back. We understand there is no more reincarnation after this.
That's right.
It is going to be translation, man, into the new body, the body that's already prepared.
That's right.
So this is it.
Yep.
Okay, let me read it again. Luke 10:24, and this is the words of Yahweh Shai. Okay, and he was telling it to his disciples back then, and it wasn't even time yet for this man to go down. The mystery of iniquity wasn't even revealed.
Yeah.
The MOTB wasn't even revealed. John the Baptist wasn't even on the Isle of Patmos yet.
Yeah, he had to receive the vision.
And there was many things that Yahweh Shai wanted to tell his disciples, but he said they weren't able to bear it. Because they were, he knew the whole picture. But he could only share so much with them. Because some of that stuff at the time would have bugged them out.
Yep.
You know?
You gotta grow to eat. There's certain things you gotta be of a full strength to be able to consume.
But not only that information, if he did give it, it would have been abused by the wrong parties.
Yeah.
Because everyone got access to this. Only the prophets got the true access to the spirit of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
To truly understand it and bring it out the right way. Because the Lord told him everything. You already know. Esau would be on it. Esau be, he would have got other secret dark knowledge that, we once had that wasn't scriptural, and he's using it right now. Okay, for his technology and so on and so forth.
And still losing.
And really it's all bullshit because the only knowledge that we need is the scripture.
Yeah, this is the most powerful knowledge. This is the most powerful information that you can be able to yield only if the Most High deems you to yield it.
Yeah, that geometry, the so-called white man guy, you got all that. It's all bullshit.
This is the top wisdom of the earth.
This is it right here.
It's the most coveted wisdom on the earth.
And
Everybody's trying to find out the proper understanding of it, but they ain't got it.
And it's the most easiest to understand if your spirit is with you. It's like the least complicated truth in the world.
It's plain into the holy. That's
Right.
Yeah.
Into the holy,
But stumbling blocks into the wicked. That's right. That's right.
The lake of fire thing.
Yeah.
You seen that? It clicked in this.
Great breakdown.
Oh
The
yeah.
water for the edification.
And that breakdown is trash.
Beautiful as always.
Yeah.
Right into the real lake of fire.
Yeah.
Luke 10:24, for I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
Yeah.
Okay?
You know what he was talking about?
Yeah, there's a proper understanding of the scriptures.
Yeah, and he was talking about himself.
Yeah.
Because that was the desire of the prophets, to know when the Messiah came on the scene to suffer and the glory that shall be revealed after. That's what they said. Well, thou at this time, because they understood, but so now is the time for, no, not yet.
That's it. Quick reset.
But hey, we in the time where the waiting's almost over.
Yeah.
The only thing left really is for Esau Edom to implement that MOTB, and he's fast tracking towards that goal, man. Okay, everything's going digital. All these banks are coming up with cryptocurrencies that they get ready to roll out, man.
Better is the ending of a thing than the beginning.
And now when they put in chips inside niggas' brains, you know it's over.
Look at Esau. It's over for him, man.
It's over for him. Stay out of there.
Damn.
Like he crawled out of that pit, man.
Oh shit, that's a
He made it
Saddam
down that
Hussein.
river.
That's
He made it
a
down that river, man.
Saddam Hussein escaped. They didn't get him.
That's the dude he got off Alcatraz.
50 years later,
Fresh off the rock.
fresh off the rock. He swam off that shit
First Peter
in the back of a
1:9.
shark.
receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently.
Beautiful. Yeah.
It says, 1 Peter 1:9, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls,
This
of
is
which
crazy.
That's gonna be the end of our faith when we get delivered.
He said he got off the rock.
Will be part of that number.
right.
Okay, and that's when it's over. Okay, all this hell that we've been catching, all right, like the elder mentioned earlier, all these different reincarnations, it's gonna cease to exist, man, because when Yahushua comes back and the bodies of the elect get changed, they're gonna live forever. You ain't gonna die again, have to go up to the spirit world, get judged, and then the Most High send you back down here, man.
Right.
All right, keep going.
Yeah, God is not gonna come out of nowhere. You in a new body. You just got dealing with your woman.
Yeah.
And you just about to drink a glass of wine, and God comes grab your ass up and
God-
lock you up. Come on, man.
God gonna be in captivity.
Yeah.
So which one of you niggas gonna let God out, man? We
Yeah.
find out you plotting out, but you gonna be in your right mind.
Exactly.
Ain't no nigga gonna do that.
Hey, like
Hey, let me go let God out.
Hey, you know,
Feel prophecy.
there's a episode on Twilight Zone called The Howling Man, right? And then they had the devil locked up in a room, right? And it was just a door and a shepherd's staff across. You know, all he had to do was lift it and get out, but he couldn't lift it. And then the Edomite dude lifted up the thing and let him out, and then he put him under a spell. He just went like this. Yeah, I mean, y'all had to see it, you know. But is that how they gonna let the devil out?
That's what he gonna do.
They're gonna let God is gonna be in the prison. He gonna just let him out.
But God he's gonna be locked up. He do not touch.
Yeah.
He's supposed to fulfill prophecy.
Yeah,
He don't touch it. Nigga gonna go
years.
down there. He gonna look around.
Yeah.
He gonna take the fucking chain or whatever locking up God, let God out.
Gonna
Then
be
the
like,
nigga gonna run and hide, act like he ain't did shit.
oh, it's
man.
gonna be like Planet A's looking at Bright Eyes. Oh man, we should save him, man.
It's
We should let the
crazy.
guy out.
I mean, that shit just sounds so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you got people that actually believe that.
Oh yeah.
They said that madness and then people actually believe it. You want to go and take a fucking slave, man.
Yep.
You want to go back into captivity after you in the kingdom. That's crazy.
Yeah, you want to fight more wars? You're fucking out your mind. This coming war is the war to end all wars. Right? We're not gonna be battling other nations anymore, man. They're not even gonna know how to fight.
Yeah, they ain't gonna know what war is.
They're not even gonna know how to close their fists. All right,
All they're gonna know how to do is just farm.
work.
That's it.
Work.
Work.
Yeah.
Work
Serve.
and work.
That's right.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
And to deal with suffering.
Yep.
To deal with pain.
Deal with the curses.
Yeah, and you guys will be cursed.
Deuteronomy 30 and
especially
7.
Esau.
Right.
You're gonna learn how to have a good, strong back. Right? Because that back is gonna be getting whipped up, man.
You can have road maps.
Yeah, Jack gonna be whipped. You're gonna have that little river of fire on your back. All right?
The Zorro whip.
The lashing, getting lashed up.
Yeah, your Mac gonna be bent for a different reason.
Yeah. And if we find a nigga trying to free you, which ain't gonna happen, you would get lashed up too.
Whip back.
He gonna hang up.
Nah,
on
he
the
ain't. The Jake ain't gonna be doing
Jake
that
ain't
shit.
gonna be doing all that.
They're gonna be in
They're
order.
gonna be in their right mind.
It's gonna be a terror. It's gonna be a terror. A terror's gonna be in there.
Yeah, all thy people shall be righteous.
Come on, man.
You know, that proves that they doctrine don't make
Yeah, it's
sense.
all bullshit. It's against the scriptures. It's anti-Hamashiach.
Doctrines of devils.
Now you know what's his name? Two-Ball Kane gonna sneak it in and let him out.
Yeah. Or
Hey, cause in
Nimrod.
that movie Noah, Two-Ball Kane snuck on the ark, bit the lizard's head off. Fucking bugged out ass movie.
That's what the line
Hey,
is.
he
Book
did-
of Enoch. That's the Book of Enoch.
Hey, this is just Esau's deception. It's all part of his deception. You know, and as ridiculous as some shit might sound, other people believe that shit. You know, so it's the international bankers' job to set up different individuals and pay off certain dudes to teach some bullshit. You know, but that shit is just ridiculous. You know, and it's like the explanation was like weak as hell. This little river of fire from Basra to Megiddo. Fucking insane.
Couple last scriptures.
Yeah, I want to finish up with this. 1 Peter 1:9, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently.
Yeah, all the prophets inquired of that. Okay. Ezra, Isaiah, Jeremiah, they all inquired of that. Okay. It's Nahum inquired of it too.
Yeah.
All right, you read the first chapter, he asked the Heavenly Father, why dost thou cause me to behold iniquity, man?
Why is the world, succumb to the wicked? Why do they got rain down here on the earth? All right. And then when you come to the understanding, all right, of what's going on, you know that Yahweh Shem Yahushua set them up to show the world what wickedness is, and he can destroy them.
Yeah.
All right. But this is all the plan of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, keep going.
Who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you?
Who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you, and that grace began when Yahushua was on the scene. All right. After he died on the cross, that grace was short. All right. And all we doing is waiting for it to manifest physically. Okay, when we get delivered, Yahweh Shem Yahushua willing before that number, and our bodies get changed, man. Okay, and we go back to our original state that we had when Yahweh Shem Yahushua first created this world.
Yep.
Okay, those immortal bodies.
First
Being at
estate.
one again with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Right.
Reconciled.
It says, searching what manner of time the spirit of Mashiach Yahushua, which was in them, did signify, when it testified beforehand the sufferings of Mashiach Yahushua and the glory that should follow.
That's right. As he mentioned, everybody was diligently searching that out. When is the Messiah going to come on the scene? All right. Well, does this individual fit the prophecies? Is this individual fit the prophecies? Yahushua came on the scene, he died. Well, that's why the disciples asked him that question. Well, now at this time, restore again the kingdom to Israel, because you fulfilled the book. You say you're supposed to die, and then after that, Israel, takes control of the earth. But there was other things that had to happen after that.
That's it.
Okay? The brothers went through it early. He had to fall again. Edom had to be put in power. The wicked had to be revealed. All right? Because if the kingdom would have been established there, then the wicked would have been destroyed. Okay, and this great salvation wouldn't have been able to take place. All right? Because there were no nuclear missiles back then, man. That was it on that? Yeah. So?
Daniel chapter 7, verse 13. I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him.
Including God, man.
That's it.
So God gonna be in captivity.
Oh, read the 14th verse.
It says, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away.
Shall not pass away.
It's everlasting, man. So who's coming up after Yahushua? Nobody. Who's coming up after the Israelites? Nobody. All right, what the fuck are these guys talking about, man?
We got next.
That's right. That's right.
And we're going to have Esau's next.
It says,
Stepping on the Ashkenaz. You see?
That's it. And on God.
Ashkenaz lives over there.
it says, his dominion is an everlasting dominion.
It's everlasting. So it ain't going. Nobody's going to take down the nation of Israel. All right. So once Yahushua makes his second return, okay, you read Revelation 19 chapter. He takes all the crowns of these other nations, takes their sovereignty away. They ain't getting it back again, man. They ain't gonna be able to establish anything on their own accord. Okay, they got their own autonomous region over here. We the Moabite, we doing what we want over here. That ain't gonna happen. You're gonna be under the law, statutes, and commandments, and under the authority of the Israelites forever. All right, keep going.
His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away. And his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
That's straight to the point. It ain't gonna be destroyed. All right. So when the Israelites come into power, when Yahushua makes his second return, okay, he destroys the armies of you other nations. He delivers the elect of the nation of Israel. They're gonna be established as the perpetual rulers of the earth. And that's the end of the book. Okay, so what happens after that is just the nation of Israel continues to rule. And you other nations, you are in perpetual subjection to the nation of Israel, as the Heavenly Father intended it to be, going all the way back to the beginning. All right? So the Most High just running it all the way back. All right?
That's it.
You got something else?
Yeah, something else real quick. Philippians chapter 2, verse 5. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Mashiach Yahushua, who being in the form of Yahweh, thought it not robbery to be equal with Yahweh, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men, and being found in the fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Wherefore Yahweh also have highly exalted him, and given him a name which is above every name, that at the name of Yahushua every knee should bow. That at the name of Yahushua every knee should bow, of things in heaven, and things in earth, and things under the earth.
So who's going to come up against them, man? Everybody's going to bow down to Yahushua. Okay, the whole world. Well, the brother just read earlier in Daniel the 7th chapter that all dominions shall serve and obey him. Okay, every kingdom that's down here on the earth, Yahushua is going to take control of it, man. That's the reason why he has that title, Revelation 19, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. All right? Keep going.
And that every tongue should confess that Yahushua Mashiach is Lord, to the glory of Yahweh the Father.
That's right. And if you don't want to confess that, you're going to get put to death. All right? So after everything is said, the top ruler is going to be Yahushua. Okay, you're going to have King David under him. You're going to have the rest of the, well, you're going to have 12. You're going to have the rest of the nation of Israel under him, man. Okay, the elect, and then the rest of the Israelites. Okay, but that's how the world is going to look. The nation of Israel sitting at the top. Okay, and you other nations on the bottom. All right, that's how the story of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua ends, man. All right, any last precepts? And so with that, we're going to give all praises to
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Hashem HaKadosh.
Double honor to the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone. Shalom.
Shalom to the elect.